over some crime, man. First up, we got a spoiled teen instantly regrets unaliving his friends. This one ought to be good. Let's get right on into it.
I have your son in the back seat of the patrol car. He took 2 people's lives today in your house.
I cannot believe this. This is insanity.
But the details of this tragedy only get wilder. While Connor unloaded his weapon on 2 of his friends, a third friend heard everything after locking himself in the bathroom about 5 feet away.
Open the door with your hands. It's just me. I'm in crushes.
After making sure the surviving friend wasn't hiding any weapons, the officers escorted him outside to take his statement.
We literally not even 2 minutes of being in the house. We come in, he's on the couch or something. He stands up. I walk right to the bathroom. I have to pee. And then I heard 2 long gunshots and everybody was quiet. And I felt like I could hear laughing, but I think it was just them breathing. And Connor was like, what have I done? What have I done? And started crying. I don't know where y'all found him, but I thought he was going to shoot through the door or something. And Connor was like, what have I done? What have I done?
Perhaps the most intriguing part of this case is that the shooter, Connor Hilton, had no motive and no history of violence whatsoever. Even when the officers first arrived on the scene, Connor was waiting outside for them and seemed mortified by his own actions.
I screwed out so bad.
Somebody hurt? Who's hurt?
People.
Teenage males.
Okay.
I think they're deceased.
There is a walkway. Where's the gun at, bud?
I really have no clue.
I need to be put in a mental hospital.
Dear God, we don't know.
As Connor waited in the cruiser by himself, it was obvious that he felt remorseful. But as soon as the officer got into the car with him, his tone suddenly changed.
Where am I being transported to? Friendly. I know this isn't a time to be bringing this up. You having a good Christmas, officer?
After just a few minutes, he started to talk about the shooting, only to claim that he opened fire out of self-defense.
We got into an argument. Ethan tried to grab me and I got freaked out and he tried to grab for my throat.
What Connor just said was that during the few minutes that he and his friends were at his house, one of the victims, 18-year-old Ethan Riley, started an argument with him. Ethan then became physical with Connor and attempted to choke him. So Connor freaked out and opened fire, hitting both Ethan and the other victim, 19-year-old Benjamin Bleak. But there was one problem. This story didn't align with the evidence at all. Not only were there no signs of a struggle, but the witness who called 911 didn't see or hear any arguments break out. When Connor arrived at the police station, one of the detectives was already there ready to swab Connor's hands for evidence.
Do you know my parents are here?
Yeah, I think your mom and dad.
He was then brought into an interrogation room for questioning.
Listen, what I gotta do?
Just read me my Miranda rights. I have the right to return you.
Well, yeah, but I wanna read them, man.
As they got into the questions, Connor began panicking, so they did their best to calm him down.
Listen to me, Bo. I don't know you, man. You know, I'm trying to get to know you, right? Just trying to understand.
Yes, sir. You just got right to the chase.
I don't know.
It was the one that my idiot self had the speaker on the trigger.
For some reason, it seemed that Connor had forgotten the story that he gave in the back of the cruiser.
He tried to grab me and I freaked out.
This claim of self-defense was already hard to believe, but he eventually told the detectives a new story that sounded even more ridiculous.
Tell me how the gun goes off.
It happened so fast. I really don't know. I was just standing next to Ethan. I don't know, but I...
To paint a picture of Connor's second story, he is now saying that once he and his friends entered his house, he decided to show off his new gun when it unexpectedly fired. This story could explain how the first shot went off, but what about the second shot?
So I've got 2 guys that are both been shot in the head. How does that happen as an accident? That's what I want you to explain to me.
With just a little bit of pushback from the detectives, Connor gave in and told them everything.
You know what, I need to be honest with you guys. I just need to be... Oh my God. Okay, I've had homicidal thoughts for so long. I went up to Ethan and just... Oh my God.
I have your...
He closed the door and I didn't kill him. I'm so evil. I'm sorry for lying, you guys. I'm really sorry. But the idea of murder is just super interesting for me. I don't know why. I don't know why.
What did you think you were going to be able to achieve to help you by doing this tonight? Was it something you felt you had to do to be able to get this pressure off of you?
Yes, you said it right there. That's the exact word.
As far as Connor could tell, there was no rhyme or reason for his urge to commit murder. That being said, the detectives wondered why he didn't try to kill his third friend, the one who was in the bathroom during the shooting.
I think he closed the bathroom door. I thought it was risky to either shoot through the door or go, because he locked the door. I'm so glad that he closed the door and I didn't kill him. I'm so evil. I convinced my mom to buy that gun for me so I can shoot somebody. And this feels so much.
In retrospect, Johnny's buying her mentally ill and underage son a firearm probably wasn't the best move. But according to her, she had no idea about her son's dangerous mental state and didn't...
Sure, she didn't know.
see a problem with buying him a gun.
What was the reason for buying the gun?
He wanted to get it.
However, the investigation would later show that Connor was seeing a psychiatrist for severe anxiety and other mental issues. Johnny's also allowed Connor to self-medicate at home with marijuana and alcohol, but this resulted in Connor forming dependencies on these substances. Despite these factors, Connor's parents frequently took him to the gun range without asking his doctor if he was mentally fit to be handling weapons. On top of all of this, Connor slowly started isolating himself from his friend group and began posting videos of himself playing with firearms from his mom's safe. He became hyperfixated on true crime videos, sometimes saying that he wanted to become a homicide detective, and other times saying that he wanted to kill people. And just hours before the shooting, he posted a selfie on Instagram with the song Who Is Freddie Dredd playing in the background, and the lyrics were about killing people. It was clear that Connor had an unhealthy obsession with the content he was consuming, and it seemed that Connor's parents didn't see his concerning behavior as a cry for help.
What I did was wrong. I need to do the punishment. I know that. But I also need help. I need some help.
The interview was wrapped up, and Connor was escorted to a holding cell. While he was in jail, he made a phone call to his mom telling her the same things he told the detectives.
Mom, I need help.
I know, sweetheart. It's okay. We'll get it for you, okay?
I did a very bad thing.
The next day on Christmas Eve, his parents were able to post his $1 million bond, allowing him to spend Christmas Day at home, the same home where the shooting took place. At least until 6 p.m., when he was indicted for murder, and the police were back at his doorstep to arrest him.
With their guns drawn, Friendswood police swarm the home of a 17-year-old, now murder suspect.
Friendswood Police Department, we have a warrant. Come open the door now.
Still no movement from inside the home. The officer gets back on the bullhorn.
We have a warrant. Come to the door.
Is he at?
Where's he at?
Where's he at?
There, he's right there.
Hey.
Hands. Show me your hands. Turn around. Face away from me.
You're under arrest for murder, okay, bro? Come on.
May I give him a hug?
Sure.
No hugs?
No, it's not.
Connor was escorted to the back of a police cruiser yet again and sent back to jail. The next day, he pled not guilty to his charges. Another $1 million bond was set, this time with strict conditions, including 24-hour house arrest, a GPS monitor, surrendering his passport, no social media access, and no contact with the victim's family.
Are you Connor's parents?
No, ma'am.
Are you family members?
We are.
He was charged with murder.
Okay, yeah.
Any comment on that?
That's not me. No comment.
What about his $1 million bond? Do family members plan to bail him out this time?
No information on that, ma'am.
Once again, his family posted his bond within days, and he remained at home with his mom while awaiting his trial.
I've met with...
Damn, I wish I had the kind of family Connor got. They posted $2 million bills. Jeez Louise.
him on multiple occasions. He comes across as a very remorseful, who is just kind of one of your typical 17-year-old high school students. So it was very shocking. We are just now getting the evidence in the case.
While Connor's defense team started preparing for trial, his peers at Friendswood High School were still processing this tragic event.
You see it everywhere on social media, on news articles.
Senior Alex Liaviondo says he knew victim Ethan Riley for years. This is a photo of the 18-year-old from a GoFundMe page set up to help pay for funeral expenses.
I have him in my English class and I'm just going to look around. It's just going to be an empty seat. I don't think I'm ready for that.
Friendswood police say Riley was fatally shot last Saturday by 17-year-old Connor Hilton at his family's home here on LaSalle Street.
On August 25th, 2025, a hearing was held to decide whether or not the defense could introduce a certain witness during the trial. Dr. Bremner is a professor of psychiatry and radiology. His professional opinion was that at the time of the murder, Connor was in a state of psychosis due to his acne treatment. This opinion was based on a study Dr. Bremner conducted in 2005, which concluded...
Did they say due to his acne treatment, he was in a state of psychosis? Clearasil had him crazy, y'all. I've never heard that. Oh my God.
That the chemical in Connor's acne treatment had major effects on the human brain. Even right on the packaging, it mentions a possibility of psychosis and violent behavior.
Get the heck Bill Monachek out of here. He started using that just for this case because they knew that it had that idiocy on the box. Did y'all hear that, y'all? I didn't know acne treatment can make you go crazy. Did you know that? Did you know?
Apparently, Connor had used this treatment in the past, long before the shooting, but had to stop because it was affecting him emotionally. However, in January of 2023, 1 year before the shooting, he started using it again. The defense claimed that this was the start of his concerning behavior. And
man, they wouldn't give a damn what a Negro was using on their face. Your ass will be in jail. They wouldn't give a damn. They wouldn't give a damn what kind of, they wouldn't care. You be in jail. That is a good. That's privilegiado. Privilegizo.
Over time, the homicidal thoughts slowly set in. Connor's history with his acne treatment, along with the fact that the prosecution couldn't pinpoint a motive, led Bremner to believe that Connor was experiencing a psychotic episode at the time of the shooting. The prosecution began questioning Dr. Bremner, and it became clear that his opinion was based on generalities and possibilities, not Connor's personal experience.
I need you to draw a line and explain to me how Connor Hilton taking Accutane made him insane at the time of the offense.
That's what happened with him.
Have you ever performed a brain scan of Connor Hilton?
No.
To discredit Dr. Bremner's opinion even further, they pointed to a more recent study from November of 2023 that said Connor's acne treatment does not cause an increased risk of psychosis. They believed that Connor's state of mind was crystal clear based on his general wherewithal when the authorities arrived at the scene and his ability to tell right from wrong.
Riley, there are no words to express how much we love you.
Dear God, I'm going to hell. So evil.
It was up to the judge to decide what Dr. Bremner's role would be in Connor's trial. It was determined that Dr. Bremner was allowed to testify for the defense, but only during the penalty phase, which would only take place if Connor is found guilty. Connor's trial was just weeks away at this point, and without an expert witness to support their claims, there was a high chance that he would be found guilty and potentially spend the rest of his life in prison. So just days later, Connor decided to take a plea deal.
How do you plead to each of these charges?
Guilty.
The deal was that if Connor pled guilty to murder, he would only serve 50 years in prison, and he would be eligible for parole in just 25 years.
Wow.
At the plea hearing, those affected by Connor's actions were given the opportunity to speak to him directly. The first person to take the stand was Benjamin.
Now, mind you, he murked two of his friends. Now, mind you. And the story goes, he walked in the crib with three friends. One friend had to use the bathroom. He pulled out the strap, bucked the other two, and didn't go after the one in the bathroom. And he'll be out in 25. Wow.
Bleak, one of Connor's victims. What we haven't told you up until this point is that both Ethan and Ben were actually clinging to life when the first responders arrived at Connor's house. They were rushed to the nearest ER, and although Ethan had ultimately succumbed to his gunshot wound, Ben made a miraculous recovery. He was paralyzed on the right side of his body, so he spent over a month in physiotherapy, regaining his motor skills and physical strength. Eventually, he was able to walk, talk, and eat, but his memory from the night of the shooting never came back. He learned about the shooting and Ethan's death when he saw an online news article about it on his mom's phone. In Ben's own words, he was furious.
Stop sniveling, stop crying. You did this to yourself. The grief you have caused the Rileys and my own family, I will never forgive you.
After Ben's statement, his mom, Shannon Bleak, who was with Ben every step of the way throughout his recovery, got on the stand and scolded Connor's mom.
We are all living this nightmare because a mother chose not to tell her son no when he asked her to buy a gun. Shame on you.
Ethan's father also said his piece, reflecting on the wonderful person his son was.
I sit here with so much love in my heart. My son, Ethan Matthew Wright, he's a beautiful soul full of love and light. I could see that light in his eyes. A light that will continue to overcome the darkness of your evil thoughts and actions. I'm going to close with the words that I shared at Ethan's funeral. To our son and brother, Ethan Matthew Wright, there are no words to express how much we love you. You are and always will be our beautiful son and brother in the love of our lives. Our love and admiration for the person you are is immeasurable beyond words. So until the time we can wrap our arms tightly around you, kissing your beautiful face, we will continue to hold you firmly in our hearts wherever this earthly journey takes us.
Connor was sentenced to 50 years in prison for murder and aggravated assault, causing serious bodily harm. But this story doesn't end there. After Connor's sentencing, Ethan Riley's parents filed a civil suit against Janice Hilton and won. A jury determined that Janice was negligent for buying Connor marijuana, hosting gatherings where alcohol was present for Connor and his friends, and purchasing a handgun for him, failing to recognize that he posed a potential danger to others. Although Janice explicitly told the detectives that she had bought the handgun for Connor during her interview.
What was the reason for buying the gun?
He wanted to get it.
She changed her story completely during her civil suit. Apparently, when she watched that part of her interview, she had no memory of it, and she claimed that she had actually bought the gun for herself. Text messages exchanged between Connor and Janice showed that Connor had told her to buy the specific gun he wanted. Ultimately, Ethan Riley's parents were awarded $60 million, but it is uncertain.
They had what? Gee, no wonder he was getting out of jail like that.
How much of that money the Rileys will be able to collect from Janice. Shortly after this decision, Janice Hilton sold her house and moved out of Friendswood. As for Connor, he currently resides at the George Beto unit in Tennessee Colony, Texas, and will be eligible for parole in the year 2050.
Right.
Ooh, sheesh, we just gonna keep it rolling. Said daughter leaves her Police to her father's deadly murder rampage. It just kicks it right off the bat.
Florida SWAT are in the middle of a multi-hour rescue operation after a deranged father just shot his wife in front of their own children.
Dang.
Go. We're gonna make sure we get everybody. Go. He's got a rifle. Okay? He got a rifle? As far back as you can go.
In the middle of this chaos, police are racing against the clock to save the wounded mother trapped inside, leaving them with no choice but to get creative, even if it means using the shooter's own children to bring the standoff to an end.
He already said he's not coming out until you guys kill him.
Oh yeah, he's in the hallway. He shot the drone. Hold back!
It's approximately 6 p.m. on a Saturday evening in an upper-class lakefront neighborhood in St. Cloud, Florida. Inside one of the homes, a heated argument erupts between 48-year-old Jose and his wife Lizvette, one that's about to completely spiral out of control.
911, what's the address of the emergency?
I think I just shot myself. My dad is upstairs with the gun. I don't know. He went back to the room. What did your mom? He just shot her. No, he shot her. He just shot her in my bathroom. How many shots were fired?
After the call disconnects, the St. Cloud Police Department rushes to respond, immediately dispatching 20 patrol cars to the scene. From what officers can gather, 2 siblings just watched their father shoot their mother, and they could be his next victims. The first to arrive is Rookie Officer Garnesh, with only 6 months of experience, and as he steps out of his car, he's walking straight into the line of fire.
Go inside. Get inside your house.
Out of the way. Ganesh, hold there. Have the 1027 and the neighbor step out and come immediately north. All the way at the corner on the left is going to be the target residence. 1027 is one house to the north. One house towards us.
Officer Garnesh and his partner are positioned roughly 70 feet away from the active shooter's house, waiting for backup. Moments later, additional units arrive, along with K-9 quickly surrounding the home from both the east and west. Leading the operation is Sergeant Patrick Mannix. With nearly a decade in law enforcement and awards including Hero of the Year, he's earned a reputation for doing whatever it takes to protect innocent lives. So, knowing a civilian hostage may be critically wounded inside, Mannix understands the clock is working against him. So he quickly devises an extremely bold strategy, completely unaware of the danger he's about to send his men directly into. The sergeant's plan is straightforward, but far from simple. Rush in, take the active shooter by surprise, and get the 2 children and their wounded mother out, all while ensuring no civilians or officers are injured. But as Mannix and his team approach the house, the shooter inside has a plan of his own. One that doesn't involve surrender, but instead drawing officers into a deadly ambush.
Okay, let's move. This house should be the 1027.
Yo. Let's go.
St. Cloud Police Department, make yourself known! Hold on, I think it's the next one. Shot fire! Hold back!
We up in here. I'm back, baby.
Corey, can you make sure I don't have any blood on me anywhere? Because he shot at me. I didn't feel anything, but alright.
The shooter fires, but the round strikes the door instead, miraculously missing Sergeant Mannix by less than an inch. But as Mannix and his men retreat to cover, a critical problem remains. Officers have yet to secure the south side of the property, which leads directly into a nearby park. However, rushing over there now would expose them to gunfire from the numerous windows surrounding the home. So, faced with this reality check, Mannix is forced to rethink the strategy from the ground up.
You're not going to. Stay with me.
With tension rising by the second, SWAT finally arrives on scene along with a sniper and a drone operator, giving Mannix his best chance yet to contain the shooter. And, as fate would have it, the most dangerous assignment, securing the back of the house, falls to Officer Garnesh. So with a wounded mother and 2 children still trapped inside, this rookie officer is about to face the most dangerous moment of his career.
Somebody go to the back! Go to the back! Take 2. Come on. Go ahead, hold on. guys phone calls. There's a fence back here. Just make sure we got him up there.
It's that stall back here. That's me. 51. Resident 2760. This is the St. Cloud Police Department. Come out with your hands up.
I'm gonna duck down here and cover the. I don't like standing right here.
This is the St. Cloud Police Department.
Yeah.
Come out with your hands up.
You just hold low like that.
As Officer Garnesh continues issuing commands, SWAT has now surrounded the house from all directions, while a sniper maintains visual on the front entrance. And for the first time since the standoff began, police finally have gained the upper hand. With the standoff closing in on the 1 hour mark, one officer decides it's time to deploy a drone, hoping to locate both the shooter and the wounded victim inside. But what seems like a smart tactical move is about to escalate the standoff even further.
I'm getting ready to put the drone up. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. You see him? Oh yeah, he's in the hallway. He shot the drone, he shot the drone. He's all the way down the hallway with a light going on the rifle. It looks like a rifle. Don't worry about it.
Was we all looking at the same drone footage? How could he see all the way? That was incredible drone footage. If you can see all the way down, that was incredible.
But you can see through the front door. You can see him. Yeah.
Despite successfully locating the shooter, the drone is shot down, making the suspect even more agitated. But even more concerning, there has still been no update on the two children inside or their injured mother until now. Suddenly, officers notice movement, and within seconds, the entire scene descends into chaos.
We're sending people from the house just north down the street towards
This is supposed to be
LT,
real
they're sending
footage.
people our way.
Get up, go. Right here, over here, come on.
6-4 now is being evacuated.
Stay right here, buddy, stay right here.
Go! We're gonna make sure we get everybody. Go! Get behind the cars, get behind the engine. Come on. You're not going to. Stay with me. Stay behind this. He's got a rifle, okay?
You got a rifle?
As far back as you can go. Please, just stay behind vehicles.
Amid the chaos, officers successfully evacuate the captive children and nearby families, rushing them behind cover several houses away. A 10-year-old boy and his 24-year-old sister tell officers that the shooter inside is their father, Jose Fontanez, and the woman who was shot is their mother, Lisbeth Figueroa. And despite being terrified and shaken, both children are still willing to help, unaware they're about to become the key to the entire operation.
You're not going to. Stay with me.
With tension rising by the second, SWAT finally arrives on scene along with a sniper and a drone operator, giving Mannix his best chance yet to contain the shooter. And, as fate would have it, the most dangerous assignment, securing the back of the house, falls to Officer Garnesh. So with a wounded mother, with time quickly running out for the children's mother, Sergeant Mannix shifts his focus towards making direct contact with Jose, hoping negotiators can convince him to surrender before anyone else gets hurt. But interestingly, officers are about to realize the only people capable of reaching the father and finally bringing the standoff to an end are his own children.
Are we trying to get that number for him? I keep doing they keep asking for it, but I don't know if they ever came through. I'll find out. Thank you.
LT, do you want to put a page out to patrol and have everybody?
The officer was telling me, the one that is outside my house, I'm the next door neighbor. He was telling me that if we got his phone number.
So who knows Jose Ortega?
They are his kids.
Okay, does anyone have a number for Jose?
Yes.
Okay, can I get the number?
Should have it.
What does your dad do? What is his job?
He builds like boats.
Okay, how many guns does he have?
They have one that's they had a license.
Is it a pistol, a rifle?
I'm not sure.
That's a
Handgun, bigger gun?
Yes.
Handgun? Okay. Does he have any military experience?
no.
Where are you at?
Alright, thank you. Give me 1 second, stay right here, okay? Dad's in construction, he has one single handgun. No military, no law enforcement experience.
Do we know who should be in the house?
They said, I think mom, but I'll double check.
Find out who
I've got a number. Okay. Who's supposed to be in the house?
It was me and him, the dog, and my mom and the father.
Okay, so the only people in there right now should be your mom and your father.
Yes.
Thanks to the rescued children, police have now learned crucial information about Jose, not least his phone number. So with a direct line to Jose finally established, negotiators would attempt to initiate contact, only to encounter an obstacle they never saw coming.
If you want to try and make contact, that's fine. I don't know if he'll answer. Like he said, mom or daughter said she wasn't answering to him. We'll try. But... Hey, Jose. This is Patrick in St. Cloud Police Department. How you doing? I believe we have one to 40. Jose, can you hear me? No English? Okay. Yeah, any English at all? Sure. What do you need? Do you need Spanish? Okay. Un momento, okay?
He was shooting at the cop.
Does your dad speak any English?
He doesn't speak any English.
No units on task. I need one Spanish speaking officer to my position and not one submit for CNC translation.
I can get Cologne to you. I'll send him now. When we get an action, we'll just have them come up and fill here. I'll cover for now. All right.
Just as officers believe they're finally making progress, they discover their suspect doesn't speak any English. It was already a stroke of luck that Jose answered the officer's call in the first place. But now, they're forced to wait even longer for Officer Colon, a Spanish-speaking officer, to arrive on scene. While they wait, investigators can't afford to sit still, so they turn back to the children for answers. Because if they can uncover Jose's motive behind all of this, they may be finally able to understand how exactly to stop him. Officers are about to uncover crucial information that will finally shed some light on Jose's motives.
So you two were the only ones in the actual house at the time?
Yes.
Okay, who called 911 originally?
We all, and then I was like...
So originally, who was the first person to call though?
I really don't know. I just heard... I heard...
Okay, so you two were in the house with mom and dad originally. You guys heard shots and you guys left, or?
I ran upstairs, he was screaming for my name. He shot me in front of me.
What did you see exactly?
I saw my mom running, telling him to stop. Him behind her, I don't understand what's going on. Honestly, I thought it was a big gun that he was shooting her with. That's why I saw her and the blood. She had a trip to go to California for work, so I had to do her nails. We were talking, and she was telling me about fighting, and while he was fighting, that he was accusing her of cheating, like always.
According to Jose's daughter, the attack on their mother was the result of weeks of paranoia over Lisvette's alleged affair with her boss. Paranoia that became so intense, Jose had begun stalking Lisvette and even secretly placing recording devices in the home. And with that, detectives realized that if Jose is capable of snapping and shooting someone over unconfirmed accusations of cheating, reasoning with him will be incredibly difficult, even with a Spanish translator present. Nevertheless, they have to try. Approximately 1 hour and 15 minutes into the standoff, Officer Colon finally arrives on scene. But as he prepares to make contact with Jose, he has no idea the shooter is about to make officers question everything they think they know about the situation and who they're truly up against.
Jose, can you hear me? Jose? Jose, ¿no oye? Jose, soy oficial Colón con el Departamento de Policía de San Cloud. ¿Tú estás bien? ¿Tú estás bien?
Yo estoy bien, ¿qué pasó?
Ok, pues, ¿qué es lo que está pasando adentro? Take some deep breaths, not some stress. Yeah, I just take a breath. ¿Quién más está dentro de la casa contigo?
Un nene pequeño aquí.
¿Un nene pequeño? Senior, the child was inside. Okay, how old is the child? ¿Cuántos años tiene el nene?
10.
¿Y cómo se llama el niño de 10 años? Ok. Ok, José, ¿tú puedes caminar hacia afuera de la casa, donde nosotros?
¿Para qué? ¿Para que me cojan?
No es para que te cojamos, es para hablar contigo sobre lo que está pasando, porque no sabemos. José, escuchamos algunos disparos. Lo que queremos saber es que esté todo el mundo bien, y para cerciorarnos de eso queremos ver a todo el mundo, ¿entiendes?
Esta es la televisión que está prendida.
¿Esa es la televisión que está prendida? ¿Qué es lo que tú quieres ahora mismo?
No sé, en verdad, entonces que tengo la mente ida.
Sal para afuera para nosotros poder ayudarte, José. ¿Me escuchaste, José?
Sí, te escuché.
¿Vas a salir para afuera?
No sé, dame un break a ver.
With time quickly running out for the children's mother, Sergeant Mannix shifts his focus towards making direct contact with Jose.
I just need somebody to get there. She's bleeding.
Take a breather. Just take a breather, okay?
She's bleeding on the upstairs.
Jose makes the bizarre claim that the gunshots officers heard were actually coming from the television inside the house, despite police witnessing him fire multiple rounds. He also insists his 10-year-old son is still inside the home, the same boy officers had just helped escape with his sister moments earlier. It quickly becomes clear that Jose is either desperately trying to manipulate police or is deeply detached from reality. Either way, negotiators don't challenge his lies and instead continue trying to convince him to step outside. But as the call drags on for the next 20 minutes, their worst fears are slowly becoming a reality. Jose has no intention of surrendering. By now, the standoff has begun taking a visible toll, not only on the officers, but also on Lisvette's children and friends who anxiously wait on the street, knowing that every wasted minute could cost the innocent mother her chance at survival. And unsurprisingly, tensions are about to boil over as one of Lisvette's close friends begins confronting officers over their strategy.
I'm not telling you how to do your job, but can y'all go in?
So there's a whole set of situations we have to follow, okay?
But the longer it takes, the longer she's gonna bleed.
I hear you. We have to be careful. But then if we start having this
He already said he's not coming out until you guys kill him.
Okay,
Okay, can we get an ambulance now? Please.
I understand.
Please.
So, mira, escúchame. So, tenemos que cerciorarnos que
There's
podamos.
nobody else in there. I promise you. I just need somebody to get there. She's bleeding.
But take a breather. Just take a breather, okay?
She's bleeding on the upstairs. And the longer it takes, the less the chance she has.
However, think of it like this, right? Let's say he brought one of his buddies and head him away in there. And if we, if he did, right? We don't know that for sure. If he could have, and if
He
they
came
did,
out, he was coming in. I understand that, but we don't know that. Everything we base
off
off
of sending officers to save her, now they die. It's gonna be a whole other battle just to get around them.
As officers desperately try to calm the furious crowd, negotiations with Jose appear to be going nowhere, so Mannix begins coordinating tactical preparations for the worst-case scenario. Believing Jose is becoming increasingly restless inside the house, and with no update on Lisvette's condition, a dangerous confrontation may soon become unavoidable. Their next moves must ensure the victim is saved, no officer is injured, and ideally that the suspect is taken into custody alive.
Hey, with the three of us here, let's go over assignments in case he does come out. Okay. Because we are contact here.
Yep.
All right. I need one lethal. I need one hands and one verbal.
I'll do verbal.
Waiter's got verbals. I'll take lethal. I'll hold hands.
Here's how this is going to work. If he does come out and he does start walking this way, Porterfield, you're going to stay deadly. Cologne, you're going to switch to less lethal. Jess, you're going to go hands with him. Got it?
Yes.
And you're going to go voice.
Jose O'Hara, this is the St. Cloud Police Department. I'm not in the front door with your hands up.
You know what kind of rifle is it?
A loud one. All right, so whatever we do, we are not leaving this position. Got it? Even if he comes out, runs back in, we are not leaving.
What was that, waiter?
I said if he starts fighting with him on the ground and we see there's nothing visible in his hands, I'm going to sling this taser.
With Sergeant Mannix's plan now set in motion, officers hold their positions, waiting for the green light on whether Jose will surrender or whether they'll be forced to escalate the situation and make entry. But unbeknownst to Sergeant Mannix, he's no longer at the center of what happens next, as the final phase of the standoff is about to be initiated not by him, but by Jose's own son. At this point, with Jose continuing to resist police commands, his daughter attempts to call him herself, desperately trying to convince him to surrender, but the call goes unanswered. Then Jose's 10-year-old son tries calling him, and this time, the call connects. The father and son speak for several minutes before Jose suddenly hangs up. Although it's unclear exactly what was said, moments later, Jose calls officers back with an update they never saw coming.
Jose, ¿me oye? Oficial Colón otra vez. Ok, ¿estás bien?
Sí.
¿Por qué tú?
Yo me voy a entregar.
¿Te vas a entregar?
Sí, yo voy a salir, me voy a entregar.
Ok, José, hazme caso. Cuando salga para afuera, sal con las manos arriba, ¿ok?
¿Tengo la pistola aquí?
Deja las pistolas ahí mismo. Ya, vas a salir por la puerta de frente sin armas, sin nada, ¿ok? Si te puedes quitar la camisa, mejor todavía.
Against all odds, Jose suddenly says he's ready to surrender. With adrenaline racing for everyone on the scene, officers hold their position from all directions, while the sniper watches over the front entrance, anxiously waiting for Jose to emerge. But after everything that's happened, police have no way of knowing whether he's telling the truth or setting up one final ambush.
Only wager on verbals. Only wager on verbals. Only wager on verbals. Stay off PA once he makes his exit.
Face away from me! Stop! Face away! Stop! Hey, you guys get it off!
I just need somebody to get there. She's bleeding.
Just take a breather. Just take a breather, okay?
Put your hands out! Put your hands out!
After nearly 2 hours of gunfire, failed negotiations, and uncertainty, Jose finally surrenders and is placed in the back of Officer Garnesh's patrol car to be transported to the St. Cloud Police Department. But even with the shooter out of the picture, the scene is far from over. With the children's mother still somewhere inside the house, officers finally prepare to make entry, only to realize they're too late. As officers move through the home, up the stairs, and into the bathroom, they make a devastating discovery. The children's mother, Lisbeth, lies deceased beside 5 spent 9mm casings in a pool of her own blood. Standing beside her body, officers are left wondering whether they could have done things differently, and whether entering sooner might have ultimately changed the outcome. As the scene is being secured, Jose has already arrived back at the station and is placed inside an interrogation room. Interestingly, as he waits for a Spanish translator to arrive, he lies across the table as though he is the victim, the one who has been wronged. When the translator finally arrives, Jose largely confirms the story detectives had already heard from his daughter. According to Jose, 2 weeks earlier, he placed a recording device after becoming convinced Lisbeth was cheating with her boss. Jose claims he heard another man's voice on the recording, fueling his paranoia and rage up until the day of the shooting. The same day Lisbeth was preparing to leave for a work trip. And though Jose admits to shooting his wife, perhaps most revealing of all, he tells detectives he never retrieved the weapon from the bathroom because he didn't want to look at her. Following this harrowing interrogation, Jose is charged with first-degree premeditated murder along with 2 counts of attempted first-degree murder of a law enforcement officer. As of June 2026, he remains in custody, awaiting a trial date. And while this case left Florida shaken with how jealousy and insecurity transformed a father of 2 into a cold-blooded killer, our next case takes us to Maryland, where...
Nah, we ain't going to that case. I got another case for y'all. Teen lures boy to his death and thinks she can get away with it.
Can you call my mom or something?
This is 18-year-old Mariana Gomez. Just 1 month earlier, she invited 16-year-old Jesus Hota out on a date. By the end of that night, he was dead. When detectives first interviewed Mariana, she wasn't a suspect, she was a witness. Police believe they found their killers in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Police received a horrifying call from a young couple passing through a remote desert area.
We were just driving by and my mom saw a dead body.
Police respond immediately, briefly examine the body, and then return to speak with the couple who placed the 911 call.
And you guys said you were just driving by and saw that?
So he did pass away?
Yeah, he's been deceased for a while.
Officers return to the body for a closer look, determined to understand what exactly they're dealing with, and it quickly becomes clear this was no random act of violence.
Well, the blood coming from the ears too.
You think it was done out here or you think they dropped him here?
It was done out here.
The victim is identified as 16-year-old Jesus Hota. He suffered multiple gunshot wounds to his body and face. As they wait for their sergeant, officers try to understand how a teenager might have ended up executed in the middle of nowhere. As much as these officers try to piece together exactly what may have led to this scene, they could have never predicted what had truly set it in motion. According to police, Daniel and his friend Dominic Marquez recruited 18-year-old Mariana Gomez to help lure Jesus out. Posing as a romantic interest, she messaged him and arranged what he believed was a date. That night, she picked him up and drove him to a secluded location where Daniel and Dominic were waiting. What he thought was a date was an ambush. After assaulting him, the group drove into the desert where Jesus was shot and left behind. 1 month later, Mariana was arrested for his murder.
Mariana, put that stuff down. Want to drop your bag as well?
Are you guys gonna grab this?
We'll take care of everything. Thank you. Thanks for being cooperative with us.
Can you call my mom or something?
Is your mom working right now?
No, she's not. She's at the house.
Mariana is taken into custody, but this isn't her first time speaking to police. Days earlier, she sat across from detectives as a witness. What she didn't realize was that investigators were already building their case against her. Phone records placed her in direct contact with Jesus just hours before his death. She wasn't a witness anymore. She was about to be charged with murder.
Hello, Mariana. Surprised to see me again. Just to kind of explain a little bit about what's going on. You see the person? Great. If you remember that person, great. If you don't, it's not a big deal. All right, so you are under arrest. You have a warrant for first-degree murder, kidnapping, robbery, conspiracy, and tampering with evidence.
Wait, can you explain all that to me?
Sure. First-degree murder, because it was planned out. You guys talked about it, blah, 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 all the whole 9 yards. You were, to some degree, a direct participant in what happened to Leno. I know you didn't pull the trigger, but you were an active participant. I've talked to everybody else. They told me their story. It pretty much matches up with what you told me, minus a few things, which I'd like to just talk with you about. You guys were talking about taking money, laughing about it, splitting it 3 ways.
But I never agreed on that too.
I know, but you guys talked about it. you to tell me what you did that night. Because let me tell you, right now, you're facing a first-degree murder. That's life in prison.
The detective confronts her with something chilling, statements that she had laughed about taking Jesus' money and splitting it 3 ways. The tone in the room shifts instantly, and now the detective pivots to something even more pressing. A 4th suspect, an identified older man who is still at large. Mariana reveals that the older man who accompanied the group that day was Daniel's own uncle, and with that critical detail noted, the interrogation shifts back to Mariana herself, and what she says next puts her age and mindset on full display.
Because Wedo lost his life because you helped.
And is there anything I could do in jail? I don't know, I have a lot of anxiety, so I don't know how I'm gonna do it in there.
With the detective's final words of advice, the interrogation comes to an end. But while Mariana sits in that room, Daniel Garcia and Dominic Marquez had already been arrested earlier that same day.
Hands up! Police! All of you!
We have both targets in custody.
Detectives take the 2 high school students back to the station for questioning. Because Dominic is only 17, his mother accompanies him, and it doesn't take long for the seriousness of the charges to set in. Dominic refuses to answer questions about the case, a right many suspects forget they even have. Daniel, however, makes a different choice, and what he reveals in that interrogation room only makes it worse for both of them.
Daniel, I don't think you're a bad kid. I got nothing against you. I don't know you. I've never met you before in my life. It's your chance to be honest about what happened, okay? I know you didn't do that because I've looked at your phone records. You are 18 now. You have serious consequences for when you break the law, any law. So I need you to tell me what you did that night. Because let me tell you, right now, you're facing a first-degree murder. That's life in prison. That's what my warrant's for? First-degree murder, kidnapping, robbery, conspiracy, and tampering with evidence. That's basically you got rid of some stuff, you damaged stuff, you deleted stuff. And robbery for what? So there was a phone taken, there was talks of money being taken, stuff like that. Where did you meet Dominic to meet up with Mariana? Why were they meeting up? What does unalive mean? So why was Dominic wanting to unalive him? Revenge for me.
The officer leans into a classic interrogation tactic, speaking as if the full story is already known and framing honesty as Daniel's only path forward. The strategy worked. Daniel admits his involvement in Jesus' murder, shifting much of the blame onto Dominic, claiming it was Dominic who wanted Jesus dead. He also reveals the motive, saying it was revenge for Jesus allegedly firing shots at his car weeks earlier. With that admission on record, the detective turns his attention to reconstructing the exact sequence of events that led up to the killing.
What is the plan? For her to go meet up? Because she's pretty, right? Is that fair to say? Well, maybe not to you, okay, but she's not ugly. Well, she brought someone there, so who did she bring there? She brought someone. Well, Wedo. Tell me about the gun you were holding. The AR-15. And who was holding the pistol? Whose AR? It was like someone else. Who grabbed Wedo's phone? I didn't grab it. You didn't grab it? Who shot it? And why did you go pick up your dad? He's the one that wanted to do it. Okay, so your dad wanted to do it? Yeah. Why? Because, I don't know, he put it. You to tell. You're literally out there where he got murdered, bro.
According to Daniel, the unidentified older man who accompanied them was not his uncle, but his father. He shifts the blame squarely onto him, claiming his dad planned the killing. With that statement, the detective pivots to the shooting itself, pressing Daniel for precise details about what happened in the desert.
You're literally out there where he got murdered, bro. Yeah, I heard a gunshot. Okay, but you just, when you hear a gunshot, and then I'm sure you saw him. No. You never saw him. No. How'd you not see him, Daniel? I'm not looking at that.
Daniel claims it was his own father who fired the fatal shot, though whether this older man is Daniel's father, his uncle, or someone else entirely remains unclear. His true identity has never been confirmed publicly. What is known, however, is that Mariana's lawyers maintain he is still at large to this day. All 3 teenagers were taken to jail and charged with multiple counts, including first-degree murder. Dominic pled guilty and was sentenced to 22 years behind bars. Daniel has yet to face trial. As for Mariana, the jury found her not guilty of first-degree murder, but that was where her luck ran out. She was ultimately convicted of kidnapping, tampering with evidence, and conspiracy, and sentenced to 19.5 years in prison.
You're literally out there where he got murdered, bro.
According to
Dang. That was serious. Okay. So I guess we got mom discovers son's dirty little secret.
Unsupervised teens online are nothing new. So when 16-year-old Emma Niederbrock started talking to a boy over the internet, no one suspected a thing.
But this video is for Emma, because you just told me to say your name. So, I don't know.
But on the other side of the screen, Emma's new friend was hiding demons.
I'm sorry, and I had to do it. My mind just snaps. I couldn't control it anymore.
What started as innocent conversations spiraled into a nightmare, leaving 4 people murdered. Welcome to our channel. In today's episode, we'll explore how the lines between music and violence collided in the case of Emma Niederbrock and Richard McCroskey that shook the quiet town of Farmville. How did it all go so wrong? Let's start from the beginning. Emma Niederbrock was born in 1992 and grew up in a pretty typical church-going family. Her parents, Mark and Deborah, were the kind who believed in strong values and religious upbringing. They moved from Champaign, Illinois, to Farmville, Virginia, when Emma was still young. As Emma got older, she started to feel like her parents were trying to push religion onto her. It wasn't something she felt connected to, and that disconnect grew over time. Like a lot of teenagers, Emma went through a rebellious phase. Her behavior at school became a big problem. It wasn't long before her mom decided to pull her out of the public school system. From middle school through high school, Emma was homeschooled. Mark Niederbrock was the pastor at Walker's Presbyterian Church in Hicksburg, while Deborah, her mom, worked as a sociology and criminal justice professor at Longwood University. With parents so involved in faith and education, there were high expectations for Emma to follow a certain path. But Emma was starting to drift in a completely different direction. For those who remember, MySpace was huge back in 2007, long before Facebook became the go-to social media platform. Teenager Emma had a MySpace profile under the name Ragdoll, and it was there that she stumbled upon the world of horrorcore. It's not for everyone, but for an upset teen like Emma, it felt like a way to release her emotions. It wasn't much different from going through an emo or goth phase, just more extreme. Emma's new friends in the horrorcore community introduced her to more than just music. Soon she was experimenting with drugs and alcohol, things that her strict religious parents would have never approved of. As she dove deeper into this new lifestyle, Emma connected with other horrorcore fans on MySpace. She was all in, listening to the music and living the rebellious life. About 6 years after Mark and Deborah moved to Virginia, things took a tough turn. In 2009, Mark and Deborah divorced. Emma stayed with her mom in the family home, while Mark moved out. This change seemed to add to the growing distance between Emma and her parents. One day, while scrolling through MySpace, Emma stumbled upon the music of Razakel, a horrorcore rapper whose dark, edgy style resonated deeply with her. Emma became a massive fan, leaving comments full of admiration and praise on Razakel's page. To Emma's surprise, a few days later, Razakel responded. She couldn't believe it. Someone she looked up to was personally replying to her. What Emma didn't realize was that horrorcore, being a niche genre, meant artists were often very interactive with their fans on platforms like MySpace back in the day. Through these MySpace chats, Emma and Razakel formed a bond. They connected not only over their love of horrorcore, but also on a more personal level. Both of them enjoyed photography, makeup, and hairstyling, and as it turned out, they both had fathers who were Presbyterian ministers. This connection only deepened Emma's attachment to Razakel. Emma began expressing her newfound identity outwardly, including dyeing her hair pink. This only made her parents more worried. They decided it was time to intervene, so they took her to counseling, hoping it would help guide her out of the destructive path she seemed to be on. But by then, Emma was fully submerged in her new world. Razakel quickly realized Emma was new to the horrorcore scene and didn't have many friends in the community. Wanting to help, she introduced Emma to another fan from Virginia, who went by the MySpace handle Mrs. Free Abortion. Behind the bold username was an 18-year-old named Melanie Wells. When Emma and Melanie started talking online, they hit it off right away. They found they had a lot in common, despite the couple of years between them. Like Emma, Mel had also been homeschooled. She was the daughter of Thomas Wells and Kathleen Wells, and her family had moved from Louisville, Kentucky to Inwood, West Virginia, just before high school. Melanie dropped out of school and was studying for her high school equivalency diploma. From the moment they connected, Emma and Mel became inseparable. They bonded over their shared interests, and the more they talked, the closer they grew. With Razakel bringing them together and their mutual love for horrorcore, Emma now had a close friend who understood her in ways her parents never could. In September 2008, the weight of her parents' divorce was becoming more than Emma could handle. She was just 15, trying to make sense of the world, and that's when she met Richard McCroskey, an amateur rapper who went by the name Psycho Sam online. Richard was 19, much older than Emma, and although their connection raised some red flags, it gave Emma someone to talk to during a tough time. Richard became Emma's confidant. She opened up to him about the struggles at home, the divorce, and everything weighing on her. They bonded over horrorcore music and often kept an eye out for upcoming events in the scene. Turns out, even Richard knew Razakel. Richard became a source of support for Emma, especially when things with her parents were rocky. Richard McCroskey was from Hayward, California, his family consisting of his parents and an older sister named Sarah.
Do y'all want to take some bets on what's going to happen? Because I think I got this one. I ain't seen this one yet either, so we're watching this together. Do y'all want to take some bets on what's going to happen? I think I see where this is going already. I just need to watch a few more seconds, and I can tell you what the story's going to be.
Moved to Castro Valley in 2003, around the same time the Niederbrocks relocated to Farmville, Virginia. The McCroskey family wasn't particularly close, and Richard took it hard when his parents had problems of their own. He had trouble in school too. Bullied for being overweight and having red hair, he became an easy target. Richard switched schools, moving from Tennyson High School to Hayward High. But the bullying never stopped, and eventually he dropped out of both. Richard's struggles didn't end when he left school. He was quiet and had a hard time standing up for himself. With few friends and little confidence, he found comfort in the internet. It became his escape, a place where he could be someone else, where he wasn't judged for how he looked or who he was.
I'm saying based on all the lionization before it even starts, it's got to be something terrible because they is humanizing and just making them seem like they were just victims of their environment.
By 2008, Richard McCroskey was living at home and working as a freelance graphic designer. Around this time, he decided to try his hand at horrorcore rap. Under the stage name Psycho Sam, he uploaded his music to MySpace using a profile called Little Demon Dog. In the summer of 2009, Richard's parents separated, with his mother moving out of the house. This created an even stronger bond between Richard and Emma. Both had experienced the pain of their families breaking apart, and they leaned on each other for support. Emma, now 16, and Richard, 20, started talking almost every day, morning to night. Richard saw Emma as more than just a friend. He considered her his girlfriend. She would send him—
Hold on, but wasn't Richard way older than her? And the relationship was a problem? Wait a minute. But they said that Richard was older than her. That's the problem, Richard.
Sweet, affectionate messages promising to love him forever. But at 16, Emma's feelings were typical of teenage romance, which we all know can be fleeting. Even though they hadn't met in person, their connection grew through MySpace chats and photo exchanges.
And I'm saying she wasn't 16. She was probably 14 or 15. They just tried to do the little 16 just for this, because consent is probably 16 in Virginia. They're tripping. They tried to smooth that one over real quick.
One day, Emma got up the courage to ask Richard to send her a video of himself. Normally, Richard was socially awkward and wouldn't do something like that, but this was Emma, someone he cared about. So, he decided to make the video, even if it made him uncomfortable.
Alright, so you wanted a video, and then you made me videos, so Katie said please, so I'll make you this video, even though I'm not gonna do anything, because my room's kind of dirty, and yeah, I don't want to show you my dirty room, but this video is for Emma, because you just told me to say your name, so I don't know. I'll make you another video once clean, I promise. Unless you just want to see my wall, because that's not dirty, but behind me is dirty, so that's not good.
Emma came across an event happening on September 12th, 2009, an all-day horrorcore festival in—
All I'm saying right then and there, just from the video,
Southgate, Michigan. It was a big deal for her because she and her best friend, Melanie Wells, loved going to these kinds of events together, even though Melanie lived about 3.5 hours away in Inwood, West Virginia. The distance never stopped them from attending. When Emma told Richard about the festival, they thought it would be the perfect opportunity to finally meet in person. It was going to be their first ever in-person interaction, and for Emma, it felt like a date. But there was one catch. Emma's parents. They were understandably hesitant about their 16-year-old daughter meeting up with a 20-year-old man, especially since they'd never met him before. Since the divorce, Mark and Deborah had been trying to give Emma some breathing room, allowing her space to express herself and process everything.
Really?
After some discussion, they came up with a compromise that felt safe for everyone.
Uh-oh.
The plan was simple. Richard would first come stay with Emma and her mom Deborah so they could meet him in person. Once Deborah got to know him, both of Emma's parents, Mark and Deborah, would drive Emma, Melanie, and Richard to the festival in Southgate. While the three enjoyed the horrorcore event, Mark and Deborah would spend the day in the city, picking them up afterward and driving everyone back home. It seemed like a reasonable plan, a way for Emma to enjoy the festival and meet Richard in a controlled setting.
But 16 and 20 is okay. I just want y'all to know that.
After the event, Emma excitedly posted about it on MySpace. "Next time you check your MySpace, you'll be at my house," she added. "I love you so much, baby. Forever and for always." A day before the concert, Richard had set out from California to Virginia, and Emma was filled with excitement. Her best friend Melanie had already come over on the 7th of September 2009.
Listen, fam, I got all girls. There is no way some 20-year-old dude is finna come lay up my crib, and then I'm finna take y'all on a date to a concert 3 hours away and let y'all go do y'all thing and come back and pick y'all up. And what, take y'all back to the crib so we can smash later on that night? What the hell is going on here? Yeah, that's crazy. The parents is cool with it.
Stayed with her until the big day. But when Richard finally arrived, it was a shock for Emma. He looked nothing like his MySpace photos. Richard appeared much skinnier in person, shorter too, with gelled back hair. His online persona had painted a different picture, a confident, edgy 20-year-old who oozed swagger. But the Richard who stepped off that plane was shy and timid, more like a nervous teenage boy than the bold daredevil Emma had come to know online. Emma's reaction was less than enthusiastic.
Did it?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
It didn't say with. Did you see swagger in that video? I totally missed swagger. Can somebody help me find the swagger in that video, please? The hell is they talking about? It's a lot of excuse making in this video, and I don't like it.
She barely looked at Richard or spoke to him. She was clearly disappointed. This was not the exciting, cool guy Emma had imagined from their months of chatting.
What you thought he was a dweeb? What you thought he was? She's surprised she got a dweeb. Wow. Yeah, he looked very, very Will and Grace's. He looked real moist. Come on. What are you talking about? Swag? Where?
But with the concert plans already set, they all piled into the car on September 11th for the 10-hour drive to Southgate, Michigan. The car ride was awkward, to say the least. Emma tried to stay polite, but it was clear from her body language that she and Melanie were irritated by Richard. By the time they arrived at the festival on September 12th, the tension had only grown. Emma barely spoke to Richard and instead was busy flirting with other guys at the event and texting her male friends. Richard, visibly upset, found himself in an awkward position. He had traveled all this way, only to be ignored by the girl he thought was his girlfriend.
Now, that's a recipe for disaster. And oh Lord, don't let it be some black goth dudes around. Oh my God, that's oh my God. It wasn't some black dudes with some nose rings and eyebrow piercings, was it? Oh my God.
The reality of their relationship wasn't living up to the fantasy they had created online, and it was clear things were starting to unravel. The festival wrapped up around 11 p.m., and they all drove home with Emma's parents. It had been a long day filled with mixed emotions. By the time they got back, everyone was exhausted. Just a couple of hours later at 2:43 a.m. on September 14th, Melanie posted on her MySpace page, SFTW was amazing. Back in Virginia now. Be back in West Virginia on Wednesday. I miss everyone. That was the last anyone heard from her. After that post, Melanie went quiet. No online activity, no texts, no calls. 2 days passed, and her parents, Thomas and Kathleen Wells, began to grow increasingly worried. Melanie wasn't answering her phone, and that was unusual for her. Thomas drove all the way from Inwood to Farmville hoping to find her, but when he arrived, nobody was home. He rang the doorbell repeatedly and waited outside for about 7 hours. When he returned home empty-handed, he was upset, not knowing where his daughter could be.
Nigga, why you let her go with cuz all the way out somewhere anyway? Some random 20-year-old nigga from MySpace. What the hell? What? Start there.
Finally, 4 days after Melanie's silence, Kathleen decided to call the police on September 17th, Thursday. The officer...
4 days later. Wow, they just had chalked it up to some little insurance money. Like, yep, she just gone, whatever. Might as well make this report.
Officers arrived at the Niederbrock home for a welfare check. When they knocked on the door, it was Richard McCroskey who answered. He told the officers that Emma, Melanie, and Deborah had gone to the movies. Richard claimed he was Emma's boyfriend, and everything he had said seemed to check out. Call it incompetence or just bad luck, but the officers didn't dig deeper. They took Richard at his word and left, thinking everything was fine.
Hello?
Wow.
Yeah. This is from the police department. Okay, did you just speak with somebody at the residence? Yes, I just spoke with, the daughter's boyfriend. Okay, well, I don't know. As my sergeant went over there, and he just said that it was a young kid, boy, and that Melanie and the girl she's staying with are at the movies now. Yesterday they went to Richmond. Vehicle had broken down, and the cell phone's dead, and that kind of thing. So, is that what he talked to you about? He told me, yeah, and like I said, but I don't know where the mother is. I don't know where. I mean, she's usually the one that I can drive them around, and she's just here. I haven't spoken to her at all. The father I talked to earlier on today, right? He said that he was on his way, I think he was on the river or something. He was going to Farmville, he was supposed to stop at the house. I haven't heard from him since. Okay. Like I said, I'm at the point, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to think at all. Okay. You know, him being at the movies, I just tried to call.
Big Will.
Emma tried to call, or just called him from the movies. And I tried to call the phone that because she called from, there's no answer. It goes right into it.
Meanwhile, Kathleen spoke with Mark Niederbrock, relieved to learn that he had indeed dropped them off at Emma's house. Mark had moved to Pamplin, Virginia, only about 20 minutes away, and agreed to swing by the house. It was around 5 p.m. when Mark assured Kathleen he would call her back, but he never did. Unbeknownst to Kathleen, a woman walking by Emma's house that same day caught a whiff of something foul. She mentioned the smell to a friend, but they brushed it off and continued on their way. Was this an omen? On that same day, Richard left a peculiar message on his parents' answering machine, saying, "I love you guys." It was odd and out of character for him. The next day, September 18th, Kathleen was frantic. She urged the police to return to the house.
This doesn't make sense. I mean, my daughter would call. Right. So I just don't know what to think. Earlier, there's noise in the basement coming from, in the house. And, I don't know. All right, if you don't hear anything from her, then just call us back and I'll send an officer back over there. Okay.
At 3:20 p.m., they came back for another check. This time, they found the door unlocked and nobody answered the doorbell. When they finally opened the door, they were met with a horrifying, overpowering stench. The unmistakable smell of death. With probable cause, they entered the house to search for answers. They headed to Emma's bedroom on the ground floor, and there they found 3 bodies. In an upstairs room, they found another body. The victims were later identified as Emma, Mark Niederbrock, Deborah Kelly, and Melanie Wells. The cause of death? Blunt force trauma. The police described the scene as so horrifying they wouldn't elaborate on the details, only confirming that all 4 victims had died from blunt force trauma. A manhunt for Richard McCroskey was soon declared, but Richard had already escaped, and several hours earlier, around 4 a.m. on Friday, September 18th, his car had gotten stuck in a ditch at the end of a driveway on Poorhouse Road. A police car and a tow truck arrived to help him. During this interaction, Richard was ticketed for driving without a license. He claimed he was using his girlfriend's dad's car. Richard told the officers that he planned to fly back home to California on Saturday. The police officer even arranged for Richard to hitch a ride in the same tow truck. During the trip, the driver noticed red marks on Richard's neck that resembled hickeys. When the driver commented on them, Richard casually claimed that his girlfriend had given them to him. Inside the truck, the driver had to roll down the windows because Richard had a strong, unpleasant odor. He dropped him off at a gas station at 6 a.m. Once at the gas station, Richard called a cab to take him to Richmond International Airport. In a strange turn of events, the taxi was pulled over by a police officer for speeding. Remarkably unconcerned, Richard calmly exited the vehicle and lit a cigarette by the side of the road while the situation was sorted out. It was as if he had no worries at all. Even after 2 very close calls with the police, little did anyone know the true horror he had left in his wake. The search for Richard was now a race against time, with the authorities desperate to bring him in before he could disappear completely. But then, Rosakel's boyfriend, Andres Shrim, called the police. Shrim reported that one of Richard's friends had spoken to him recently. This friend mentioned that Richard was noticeably upset and had made some disturbing comments, including that he had killed someone, maybe even a couple of people. With this information, the police were now certain that Richard was the perpetrator behind the murders. They circulated a photo of him in an attempt to track him down. What they didn't know was that Richard had left behind a piece of paper at the crime scene containing the exact address of the airport. His grand escape plan had been to wait at the airport for a flight in 2 days. At some point, Richard must have panicked. He attempted to buy a ticket from an earlier flight, but it was too expensive. With no other options, he had no choice but to wait. While sitting at Richmond International Airport, he was finally arrested.
Goofy.
By Monday, the police had a warrant to search the McCroskey home in Castro Valley. They found phones and a computer belonging to Richard. As the pieces fell into place, the police started to decipher what had occurred and the true extent of Richard's actions. What happened was nothing short of a nightmare. Infuriated by Emma's indifference to his affection, Richard flew into a blind rage on September 15th. It started with Melanie, who was sleeping on the couch. She was the first to go, caught off guard and defenseless. Richard then moved on to Deborah, who was in her room, meeting the same tragic fate. Finally, he found Emma asleep in her downstairs bedroom. The absence of defense.
So that's what y'all get for letting this dude come to y'all damn house. Ain't this a blip?
Defensive wounds indicated that all 3 had died in their sleep. From 3 a.m. on Tuesday until 5 p.m. on Thursday, September 17th, Richard sat in the house with the bodies. Unknown to him, Mark had made plans to visit the house. When Mark arrived, Richard attacked him in a room downstairs. Richard then recorded a video confession.
Alright, so I'm making this video because if anybody finds this, I really don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm just breathtaking at what I've done, and I apologize, and I'm gonna pay for my consequences. You know, I wish that I could have not done this, but I just lost my mind. I snapped, and I did what I did, and I gotta pay for it now.
Man, that's crazy.
Consequences. I'm like all shaky and stuff, but like to anybody that finds this, tell my parents that like I love them and I'm very sorry for doing this, and there's nothing really else to say to everybody that's probably gonna hate me for this. I'm sorry, and I had to do it. My mind just snapped. I couldn't control it anymore.
His words were haunting, reflecting a mind teetering on the edge of sanity. On Friday, September 18th, around 3:45 a.m., Richard left the house. He stole Mark's car and took cash from his wallet, but he got the car stuck in a ditch nearby. After his arrest, Richard was anything but cooperative.
We advised you of your Miranda rights. You said you understood your rights and you signed the form saying you were willing to talk to us, and you still willing to talk to us?
Yes, but I would like to have somebody here too, like a lawyer.
Okay, that is your option. So are you invoking your right to remain silent?
Yes.
Meanwhile, police began collecting evidence. They were determined to build a solid case against him. Richard McCroskey was charged with 6 counts of capital murder under Virginia law. The evidence against him was overwhelming. By September 20th, 2010, it was clear that he would need to reach a plea deal to avoid the death penalty, and that's exactly what he did, waiving his rights to appeal. Richard was sentenced to 4 life sentences. He is currently serving his time at Wallens Ridge State Prison in Big Stone Gap, Virginia. In the end, this wasn't just about music or misunderstood teens.
Wow.
It was a horrifying collision of broken trust, unchecked darkness, and a tragedy that no one saw coming.
How did you do it?
So, just to recap for those that just came in, because I've seen some. This is a crazy story. So basically, their daughter met this dude on MySpace. Dang, I couldn't even remember the name. She met this dude on MySpace. 20-year-old dude that was into grungy, deathcore music type, whatever. And so they formed a bond. I don't know what all the other stuff about the other girls was. That was kind of long and drawn out. But I guess that was to create normalcy, to make the story even more impactful at the end so that you would grow fonder of the victim. But anyway, she meet this dude online and her parents is like, they want to go to this concert, and her parents is like, well, you could just come over our house and we'll take you to the concert and you guys could go to the concert and we'll still spend the day in the town and pick you guys up. The concert's like 7 hours away or whatever. But this dude, he goes to the crib and kill everybody that night. That's crazy. The dad was gone, came back, he whacked him too. Wow. Just wow. Yeah, them parents is out of pocket. Ain't that much freedom in the damn world. Not at no damn 16. That's crazy. Straight crazy. Yeah, man, it's been a crazy night, man, with the little cases that we had. Which one was the worst? Which one do y'all think was the worst? Yeah, he's a dumb. It's you know what that, and I didn't really do that on purpose. But they just happen to all be kid killers, didn't they? Angela, good looking for the jewels, babe. Make sure you subscribe and hit the like and all that, because we do it like this on the late light tip sometime. Yeah, that's super duper sad, man. It's like, you think the last one? Yeah, that was sinister. That was that, because it's mad betrayal. It's mad snake in the grassy. I was thinking the one dude that got his 2 friends in the beginning. I don't know if y'all came in for that one, but it was a dude that like popped his 2 friends, and then it wasn't until he got in front of the cops when he was talking about I've been fascinated with killing. I don't know why I did it. Then he tried to turn it into self-defense, like they reached for the gun. They fried him, though. He's out of there. Boy, this is crazy. Well, y'all, I was looking to see if I got any super chats or anything like that, because I had a goal for 1 hour more streaming. But I wasn't gonna do the late night too late tonight, because last night I had gave up. What was we in this 6 hours, 7 hours, or something like that? We in here getting it in. I ain't falling asleep once too, but I'm getting tired now. I'm getting tired. But you know, if y'all want me to keep going, sprinkle me. You know what I'm saying? I have to go get me like a Pepsi or something. Keep it moving. It's a little caffeine or something. But other than that, man, this was a crazy night. I guess I'm gonna use this for the crime music. It sound intense. It seemed like it blended in with everything that was going on. I think this is gonna be the crime music because the other one's too low. And the only reason I play the music is so to kind of disrupt some of the sound and some of the videos in case we try to copyright it, but it's whatever. I'm doing these more for fellowship. Here, keep going. I'm off tomorrow. What's up, Foxy? What's going down? All right, I might have to go get me a little stack. He said I had 2 hours of sleep, then had to go to work last night, Jay. Chris, fam. Hey, listen, I understand that in doing what I do, every video can't be about, you know what I'm saying, business. I think these are fellowship opportunities, you know what I'm saying, for us to just, kick back and unwind. You know what I'm saying? And also learn. You learn a lot from these videos. What's unique about watching these videos is that you see people in situations that you wouldn't normally see them in, and you see just what people are capable of, or just what people would go to in the extreme of, So this is just not mind rot, okay, guys? So don't feel bad. This is not just mind rot. If you're paying attention and you're observing, there's a lot of jewels being dropped and a lot of lessons to be learned. Also, ways to look out for people who indulge in such behaviors, because it may be hard to think as those type of people unless you see them in action, right? You're a decent person. You don't think on those levels. But when you look at people act in such a way, then you get to see the framework of their actions. All right, I did have another one though. I did have another one. Okay, we're gonna watch this last one and I'm out. It say moments after watching her parents get tortured. Get tortured by who?
Both parents shot, beaten, and heavily injured. This is 20-year-old Kaylee Snyder, and she has just witnessed her parents being beaten and shot by her 25-year-old brother, Austin Snyder. Just hours earlier, Kaylee had called the police, expressing concern about the argument her brother was having with their parents and begging officers to come, fearing something terrible was about to happen. And unfortunately, she was right. When police arrived at the scene expecting another routine domestic dispute, they instead found both parents shot, beaten, and heavily injured, with Austin nowhere to be found.
Get on the ground, put your hands behind your back. Not move.
On the 3rd of March, 2023, in Claremont County, Ohio, at approximately 10:30 p.m., the Claremont County Sheriff's Office received a distressing 911 call from a terrified young woman inside her family home, claiming her brother was about to do something horrific.
Hi,
Hi, it's in Union Township. My brother, he's really drunk right now. He's been yelling and arguing with my parents for like the last 20 minutes.
All right, is anyone hurt right now?
No, not yet, but like he's getting really aggressive.
Okay, do you know your brother's name?
Austin Snyder.
And how old is Austin?
He's 25.
All right, is he threatening anyone or saying he's going to hurt someone?
He's yelling at my parents.
Do you know if your brother has any weapons?
I'm not sure. We have guns in the house, but they're supposed to be locked up. I don't know where they are though.
Okay, officers are being sent to your address.
Supposedly, her brother, an off-duty Ohio Department of Natural Resources officer, had become aggressively drunk and begun threatening their parents. The problem was, deputies did not initially treat the call as an immediate life or death emergency, as at that moment, no one had been physically harmed. But by the time law enforcement arrived, expecting yet another routine domestic dispute, they were met with disaster. When police arrived, the inside of the home was completely wrecked. Furniture had been knocked over, and a strong smell of alcohol hung in the air as officers moved through the house. As they searched the property, they noticed several bullet holes scattered through the walls. Making their way upstairs, they came across a closed bedroom door riddled with gunshot holes. When officers forced the door open, they found Austin's parents inside, trembling, injured, and covered in blood. At that moment, the priority shifted immediately to getting them medical help as quickly as possible.
Female was shot in the wrist, in the upper arm. Male was shot in the upper arm. Did you guys get the gun away from him?
Once the ambulance team observed the mom's injuries, they found gunshot wounds to her wrist and shoulder, wounds dangerously close to major arteries. There was heavy bleeding from the injuries, and paramedics knew uncontrolled bleeding could quickly become life-threatening. They immediately began emergency treatment while transporting her to the hospital. Meanwhile, Austin's father had suffered a gunshot wound to the forearm, although not as serious of an injury as his wife's. The bullet traveled through his arm as he tried to shield himself behind the bedroom door, requiring urgent medical attention too. Although the injured parents were now in medical care, the scene was far from secure. Reporters and spectators began gathering nearby, while officers still didn't know Austin's exact whereabouts and whether he was still armed. Both parents shot, beaten, and heavily injured. This is 20-year-old Kaylee Snyder, and she has just witnessed her parents being beaten and shot by her 25-year-old brother, Austin Snyder. Just hours earlier, Kaylee had called the police, expressing concern about the
My daughter stabbed me in my chest. I can't hardly talk and I'm pulsing and bleeding. I think I'm gonna die.
Police rushed to the scene to find a mother abandoned with multiple stab wounds and her daughter nowhere to be seen. As detectives try to determine who's telling the truth, they encounter...
Wait a minute. Don't tell me they only got a part one of that.
Both parents...
You're literally out there.
Both parents...
My daughter's dead. My daughter's dead.
She's not breathing! She's not breathing!
What? They only got a... Oh, I'm slipping,
Right,
y'all.
do you have... Show me your fucking hands!
There's only a part one of that? They got me with that. All right, let me go to my other one real quick, and I'm gonna have to serve up another one. This one should take us right into an hour, and then I'll be done. That's crazy. I should have checked and make sure it had multiple parts. Matter of fact, let's go out with a whole bang. Hold on, real quick. I'm gonna play one that I had put to the side. Okay. All right, hold on. I think this the one. Yeah. This is it. All right, we're gonna go out on this one because it's kind of short. I know, right? That kind of blew my mind. That blew me too, bro.
This is Alora. Just moments ago, her dad confessed something horrifying to her. He had just killed her mother and grandmother.
Does he have any weapons?
We don't know. He's locked in the bathroom.
Okay, can you stay over there? Stay over there.
Okay.
As police nervously approached the house, they had no idea that inside lay the most gruesome murder scene the department has seen in decades.
There's one in the flipping back bedroom over here hacked up, and then there's a second one wrapped up in a sheet in the garage.
Then who's supposedly in the bathroom?
The suspect.
Investigators would soon realize the murders weren't the end of the killer's plans. In fact, Alora was meant to be next.
He just wanted us to sleep, be calm during the night, and just not be awake.
I said I was going to do a 24-hour
It all
stream
starts
one
early
time.
Saturday morning when the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office received a call from the daughter. The report is disturbing. Her dad has just locked himself into a bathroom and confessed to something truly terrifying. Cops were immediately dispatched, hoping to catch the suspect.
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on? I just got up for everybody. No,
Is he inside?
He's inside. He's in the bathroom.
Where? Mother.
One's in the garage and one's in the bathroom.
Does he have any weapons?
We don't know. He's locked in the bathroom.
Okay, can you stay over there? Stay over there.
Okay.
Okay, stay over there. Go that way.
I'm trying to tell you where he is. So you
Okay.
don't accidentally walk
Okay, well
in.
back up. Where is he at in here?
Okay. Go in that hallway, that first door on the right.
Are there any other firearms in here?
Well, yeah, there are mine, but he doesn't have anything as far as I know.
Is everything locked up?
Yeah.
Okay. And where's the bathroom?
Okay. Where that dog is right there, that hallway.
The officer enters the house and finds a blood trail. It leads directly to the bedroom, where he makes a horrifying discovery. Inside is the dismembered body of 34-year-old Christina Donzero. Her body parts are scattered across the room, with her blood painting the walls and floor. But this isn't the only blood trail he's about to find. In the garage, hidden beneath a blood-soaked sheet, lay the body of 75-year-old Betty Suzanne Donzero, Christina's mother. The trail finally ends at the bathroom entrance, where 41-year-old Kirk Heisel Jr. is located. He refuses to get out, and according to his daughter, he is armed with a knife. The situation could get out of control at any moment. The police fear the suspect might attack them, or worse, take his own or others. So, with time running out, there was only one option left: force their way inside.
See if you can break it out.
Hey, sorry, we're gonna make our way with the shield. See if where's the bathroom at? Is it gonna be to the left, like the west side?
Yeah, that's why I'm looking now.
Who's going first?
Go first. Go
first. You want to go? You want me to go?
This one's weird.
Oh, yours is. Yep.
Does it open out? Okay. So it's gonna be in here, right?
What'd you say?
Green.
Oh, green.
We got a door in there? Okay, I'm here. Is that gonna be the window? Yeah, it's right here. Right there, that's the window. It's up on the wall. Yeah, it's on the wall.
Officers methodically approached the bathroom and breached the door open to an alarming scene. The suspect is covered in stab wounds. He is slowly bleeding out and is barely responsive.
Yeah.
A lot
of blood inside, guys. I got you, brother.
129 patient.
A lot of blood inside.
Your son's
We are free now.
One of mine. We're doing it. 1, 2, 3.
Pull him up. There. Okay.
In a matter of seconds, emergency services arrive to take him to the nearest hospital, praying he survives. Meanwhile, the police lock down the crime scene and begin their search for clues that could explain the suspect's shocking actions. And what they find inside points to a disturbing yet real possibility. This wasn't a crime of passion. Inside the bedroom where Christine's body was found, investigators discovered a 9mm pistol on the suspect's bed. However, neither Christine nor the second victim, Suzanne, had any gunshot wounds. But this discovery is only the tip of something far more sinister. In the same room, officers would discover a bloody knife made for butchering cattle, garden clippers, and a half-empty bottle of melatonin gummies, the perfect supplement if you wanted someone to fall asleep faster. Plus, the suspect wasn't living alone. 3 other people were still inside the house when the crime unfolded: his son, Kirk III, his daughter, Alora, and Frederick Donzero. However, they only called 911 after discovering the scene, as if they slept through it. Understandably, investigators are unsure what to make of this scene. Luckily, a witness is about to step forward, the suspect's own father, to shed some light on some unusual behavior.
Do you have a good relationship with Kirk?
Oh, yeah, that's what I don't understand. And I hate to say this, and my wife will vouch for this. He started doing some shit.
He started what?
doing some shit like
what?
Dope.
Okay, what do you know?
Messing around. That's what he was doing.
About this, I don't know what kind. No.
Okay.
Yeah, you
But,
know. You know what kind it is, Mister. Don't he look like Stinky Wizzle Teats? Don't he look like? He look like Crambo from Tom and Jerry.
Behaving weirdly?
No, that's the weird part. It's like me and my wife was just talking about it. Like he's acted weird towards weird, kind of mellowish. Like the drugs are getting way to his head, and I'm like
acting mellow, like
yeah,
calm,
like
relaxed.
calm, and I don't care about things anymore and shit like that. I'm like, and I always try to talk to him. And I heard the phone ring, and I think it's spam.
Mm-hmm.
So the wife answered her phone, and it's my grandson, and hysteric. He is hysteric. And I calmed him down.
Your grandson who lives here, is that Kirk's son?
That's Kirk the third. You're right.
Kirk the third. Okay.
Yep. So I'm like, we're trying to calm him down, and he goes, "Dad, I think, or Grandpa, I think, Dad done something. Dad done something bad." I go, "What's going on?" We're trying to talk to him on speakerphone, and he's just shaking and trembling. You could tell he couldn't speak. And I'm like, "Dude, calm down. Just calm down. Tell me what's going on, buddy." And he goes, "I think Dad hurt Mom and Grandma."
Luckily, his son Kirk survived. Minutes later, medical staff informed the detectives that the suspect is in stable condition. But before they question him, detectives need to answer one critical question. What exactly happened inside that house? They begin with the people who knew him best, his own family. Kirk III, Alora, and Frederick were invited to the police station for questioning. Investigators are going to cross-examine their statements and see how well they match. They want to see if they had a hand in the murder or if they could have been his next victims. Detectives begin with the suspect's son, Kirk III. Almost immediately, he reveals a detail that could explain his father's increasingly disturbing behavior in the days leading up to the murders.
So, last night, what do you remember happening yesterday? Anything noteworthy?
I don't know. He was a little aggressive, but apart from that, it just seemed like a normal day.
Your dad was a little aggressive?
Yeah.
What do you mean by how do you show that?
Well, the last few days he's been like really angry, I guess, and I guess him and my mom have been really quiet to each other last few days. I actually saw her drinking again for the first time in a little bit, so that was weird.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But yeah, they've been kind of quiet recently, not so much talking or interacting as they usually do. They seem pretty normal apart from just being a little bit more like argumentative and like aggressive towards me and Laura. Especially about going to bed. I don't know why, but he's been really pushy the last 2 days.
About you guys going to bed?
Yeah, about going to bed. Like even giving us melatonin gummies, those little like gummies that knock your ass out. Sorry for my language.
No, speak freely.
Yeah, he's been really trying to give us those. He did yesterday. It didn't really work, so he tried giving us, or say yesterday, the day before, sorry, 2 days ago.
Okay.
He tried giving us some 2 days ago. We took them. It didn't really work because I guess whatever it is that they do, they just don't work on me or Alora too well. And then last night he tried giving us 2 more before we ate. That was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We were like, why the heck would we take this now? So we were just like, no, we'll be fine. It's whatever.
Didn't take them?
No, we didn't take them. He wanted us to. He was really pushy about it and got pretty damn pissed off that we didn't, but walked away after that and then came back like it was, no big deal, whatever.
The gummies Kirk mentions, the same found inside their house, are designed to increase melatonin, a hormone that makes a person feel sleepy. The question is, why would the father be so interested in making them fall asleep sooner? Plus, this wouldn't be the only demand their father would suddenly make. The next one would sound and turn out to be extremely concerning.
Since we discovered that our lock on the door works, all of a sudden we just started locking the door because he would just walk in, barge straight in like it was nobody else's business. Which he does all the time. He's been doing that since we moved in. So we just got used to it, but we were just like, dude, just leave us alone for the love of God.
So that's 8 o'clock. He wants you guys in bed by 10 o'clock.
Yes.
But at that point, were you guys in your room at the time he came in?
Yes, we were in our room. We had already been in our room for like majority of the day, just, chilling, relaxing. And he just kept coming in, just asking us to go to bed every like 10, 15 minutes. He'd be like, 10 o'clock, I'll be back. And he's just up our ass about it, but like I said, we just eventually just locked the door, and he got really pissed off about that, like really mad.
Last night this is?
Yeah. And we were like, dude, why can't we lock our door? It's not your room, it's our door.
Did you unlock it, or is he yelling from the hallway? How do you get him in?
Well, he was banging on the door. He's like, unlock the fucking door. And we're like, why? And he's like, just unlock the fucking door. God damn it. So we unlocked the door, and he's like, don't you lock this damn door. I'm just like, why? Because I finally was just like, why can't we lock the damn door? Because she was gonna say something, but she's kind of skittish against doing that too much. But I'm not. So I just was like, why the hell do we have to keep the door unlocked? And it's our room. we're adults, you know, we can lock the door if we feel like it. Like, it's not something you can just say you want to control all of a sudden. Like, who cares? But he wouldn't tell us why. He wanted it unlocked at all. So we were just constantly asking him. We just still wouldn't say. But he's just like, he was like, I want this damn door unlocked, and I want your asses in bed by 10. And we're just like, we'll keep the door unlocked. And he's like, I want it both. I'm like, well, that's too fucking bad. We'll keep the door unlocked, but you can't. You get one or the other. We're not giving you both just because you said you want it. So finally, I guess our mom kind of like stood up for us. They're like, who fucking cares? She's like talking to him. She's like, just leave him alone. Who cares? It's just a damn door. So I guess they had like a talk about it or whatever. But then we just closed the door and just go on our merry way for the rest of the night.
With each new detail, investigators feel their suspicion of Kirk's initial plan growing stronger. By encouraging them to take the sleep supplement and leave the door open, their father would have effectively left them more vulnerable to anything that might happen during the night. And when his children would refuse to meet these demands, they'd get a reaction they never expected to hear.
He came in the room at 1, and then he was like, what the fuck are you still doing up? I guess I said to him, I was like, well, why should I if you're awake? And he's like, I just woke up. I'm like, okay, but you're still awake, bothering me. Like, what if I was asleep? And so he walks away, and that's from there. And then I saw him again at, it was like 3:30, because I went out to use the bathroom, and all the like living room lights and shit were on.
What was he doing?
I don't know. I know he was over by Suzanne, but I don't know what he's doing. I just like quickly peered around the corner, just saw him there, and I was just like, okay, whatever.
Did he see you?
Yeah. But I mean, I just went straight to the bathroom after that because I was just like, okay, he's up. If she needs help, he'll help her, whatever. All I know is when I went to go walk away, he giggled real quick, like a little like light chuckle, and obviously the dog was out there with him because she just follows him everywhere. But when I got out of the bathroom, all the lights were off and shit. So I was like, okay, so that was quick. Whatever he needed, done already, gone. So he went back in his room. I go back in mine.
As the investigation unfolds, detectives begin to wonder whether the suspect's children may have been at greater risk than they realized. Kirk and Elora could have been their father's next targets. The suspect's son, however, wouldn't be the only one to notice his father's disturbing change of behavior.
Was there an incident with like a door being locked too?
Yes, there was, yes.
Yeah, what was that about?
Recently our door somehow got fixed. It's locked, and me and my brother like privacy, and we don't like it when he just randomly just comes in the room without announcing or at least knocking. Mm-hmm. He does that every single day, anytime he feels like it. Mm-hmm. And we got disturbed by it, so we started locking the door because we didn't want to have an argument, so we just locked the door. Mm-hmm. And then he got mad at us about the door and started mixing that with the sleep schedule and said, we'll keep the door unlocked, but we are going to sleep at the time we want to go to sleep. So getting mad about, my brother snapped at him for it, and then he left.
With Elora confirming the son's account, detectives now have a clear direction for Kirk's interrogation. They also begin to suspect Christina may have taken the melatonin at Kurt's insistence, and that decision may have sealed her fate.
So just, I just want to make sure I got my note right. At 10, that door lock conversation happens, and that's when your mom speaks up.
Mm-hmm. That's when my mom speaks up. She said, can you not start an argument? It is way too late for this. I want to sleep. And she sounded pretty tired, too.
Okay.
Like, more tired than she normally would have.
Does she take melatonin or anything like that?
Not that I'm aware of.
At this point, detectives believe Kirk had a plan. He wanted his children to take melatonin and leave their bedroom doors unlocked, because once his girlfriend took the pill and fell asleep, she never woke up, and her mother would become the second victim. After killing both, Kirk may have intended to move on to his children. However, this theory leaves two critical questions unanswered. Why did Kirk have a 9mm pistol on his bed, and where was Frederick during all of this? Was he somehow involved in these senseless murders, or was he meant to become Kirk's final victim?
And I think if I hadn't woken up, I'd be the third one there.
But before we get to that, while most of us never expect to be caught up in something as extreme as this case, the truth is, life can change without warning. There's a reason victims don't have to face this sort of thing alone, just like there's a reason why Morgan & Morgan is America's largest people. And if you've been injured...
Last night, we went down to my sister's to eat dinner. We got some Chinese food.
Did you ever break all 6 people?
No, not them. Just me, my wife, and my sister and her husband.
Okay.
And we came home. Everything seemed fine. She went to bed, and I took the dogs out, and then I went to bed. And the dogs I'm really worried about too, right? I think the only thing I got left. And
I just thought of this a little while ago, and this is probably going to mean something.
Yeah.
I woke up in the middle of the night, and I looked up, and Kirk, the one that did this, he's like a vulture, leaning over my bed like this. He said, well, I heard your breathing was weird, so I was just checking on you. And I think if I hadn't woken up, I'd be the third one there. Because as soon as he saw me wake up, he left, because he's always been afraid of me, because I don't take a whole lot after my background and stuff. And so he left, and that was it. I stayed in bed.
When that was?
I would say that was probably close to 3 o'clock in the morning. But don't hold me to that.
Okay.
Just a guess.
To detectives, it appears that Frederick came within inches of losing his life. There is a chance that Kirk intended to kill him right at that moment, but was caught off guard when Frederick suddenly woke up. Yet, for reasons still unknown, Kirk left him unharmed. Frederick was lucky. Tragically, the same cannot be said for the two people closest to him.
And so I went back to sleep. And one of my dogs came, and they don't even come in the room. He just woofed at the door. I said, okay, you guys want to go out? Okay, that's good. I get up, I open the door, and there's a blood trail. I mean, and footprints. I'm black, bad blood, dark blood. Comes from a different place of the body usually. So, I mean, that blood trail went all the way down and turned into the bathroom. There was no more blood in the rest of the house. When I looked in his room, there was some in the room, but that was it. So I thought he had hurt him. So I banged on the door. He said, I killed both of them. He said that. I killed both of them, he said. And I said, and I was thinking he was just nuts or something at the time. So I said, where's Suzanne and Christy? Christy's in the room. I said, I just looked in the room. There's nobody in the room. I said, where's Suzanne? He said, in the garage. Yeah. And he said, I cut my, and then but I won't die. I said, what did you think happened last night? And he said, God told me to do this stuff. And he said, I'm really sorry. I'm sorry. The door's locked to the bathroom. He said, I'm just laying in here. He said, I'm laying in my own pool of blood, and I can't die. I'm thinking to myself, well, that's too bad. But, so I go and out in the garage, and all the bedding from her bed, she was rolled up in that, laying on the garage floor. And I wanted to make sure that he just didn't think they were dead. So I tapped on it. I said, Suzanne. And so I went back in then, and I went down the hallway again into the other room, and over on, when you walk through the door, way over on the left was the rolled up bedding from that. And I know I shouldn't touch anything, but all I did was open the thing, and all I saw was just like a head or an arm or something. I could see where something had been removed. And,
wrapped up in sheets?
And it was all wrapped. She was all wrapped up in the bedding that was on their bed last night.
Both Kirk III and Delora would later confirm finding their grandfather in front of the bathroom door, talking with the suspect, after finding both victims dead. Frederick would also back up their testimonies, claiming he heard them arguing with Kirk over a locked bedroom door. So far, everything lines up perfectly. Detectives are convinced they weren't accomplices, except for one major detail that puzzles investigators. Kirk still had one thing in his possession, a 9mm pistol. They still don't know how or when he obtained it, but they know that Frederick has a whole arsenal. There's still a chance Frederick either provided him with the weapon or his own gun was stolen.
How about, speaking of like 2x4, anything in the house, weapons that you know of? Maybe he has access to, knives, anything related?
Yeah, they've got, in fact, when I went in to look for Christy, I think I saw a knife laying on the bed. And the kids said they thought there was a gun on the bed. I didn't see a gun on the bed. I can give you his gun because, oh, that's something. He was getting to feel a little weird. He said, would you sell my gun? I've got his gun. It's in locked in the trunk of my car. And I've got guns. My .45 and my .380 and all my and my grandpa's and my dad's hunting guns, the long guns, in the, but it's locked in a big gun cabinet with plexiglass on the front stuff. No, he's never touched any of mine, never gotten in any of them.
Where's that gun cabinet?
In my bedroom.
He doesn't have access, he doesn't have a key or anything?
No, nobody's got the key but me. And I lose it half time, can't get in myself.
If what Frederick told them is true, then only Kirk can tell them where he got it from and why. However, just as they are about to end the interview, Frederick remembered something he felt could be incredibly important to this investigation.
You said he had a gun, like a handgun?
Yeah. When you take me back to the garage, you can have the damn thing.
He just
Do you remember what it is, or you said it was in the trunk of your car?
Yeah, it's an automatic. It's 9mm, but I never even opened up the case that he had it in.
How long ago did he ask you to sell it for him?
A couple months. And I got the feeling maybe he was worried about shooting at that time.
That's why you think he asked you to sell it?
I was thinking that maybe that's why. I didn't have any inclination to hurt anybody else or anything.
At this point, it seems the suspect retrieved the gun while everyone was asleep, but he never meant to use it in these twisted murders. His primary weapon was a knife and garden clippers, which he used to dismember the bodies of his victims. However, one question remains unanswered. Kirk and Elora could have been their father's next targets. The suspect's son, however, wouldn't be the only one to notice his father's disturbing change of behavior.
Was there an incident with like a door being locked too?
Yes, there was, yes.
Yeah, what was that about?
Recently our door suddenly somehow got fixed. It's locked, and me and my brother like privacy, and we don't like it when he just randomly just comes in the room without announcing or at least knocking. He does that every single day, anytime he feels like it. And we got disturbed by it, so we started locking the door because we didn't want to have an argument, so we just locked the door. And then he got mad at us about the door and started mixing that with the sleep schedule and said, we'll keep the door unlocked, but we are going to sleep at the time we want to go to sleep. So getting mad about, my brother snapped at him for it, and then he left.
With Elora confirming the son's account, detectives now have a clear direction for Kirk's interrogation. They also begin to suspect Christina may have taken the melatonin at Kurt's insistence, and that decision may have sealed her fate.
So just, I just want to make sure I got my note right. At 10, that door lock conversation happens, and that's when your mom speaks up.
That's when my mom speaks up. She said, can you not start an argument? It is way too late for this. I want to sleep. And she sounded pretty tired too.
Okay.
Like more tired than she normally would have.
Did she take melatonin or anything like that?
Not that I'm aware of.
At this point, detectives believe Kirk had a plan. He wanted his children to take melatonin and leave their bedroom doors unlocked, because once his girlfriend took the pill and fell asleep, she never woke up, and her mother would become the second victim. After killing both, Kirk may have intended to move on to his children. However, this theory leaves two critical questions unanswered. Why did Kirk have a 9mm pistol on his bed, and where was Frederick during all of this? Was he somehow involved in these senseless murders, or was he meant to become Kirk's final victim?
And I think if I hadn't woken up, I'd be the third one there.
But before we get to that, while most of us never expect to be caught up in something as extreme as this case, the truth is, life can change without warning. There's a reason victims...
He did.
This is 55-year-old Tawana Gland, and she just found out that her son had been murdered by someone far closer to home than any mother should ever have to imagine. At around 2:40 a.m. on February 26, 2024, in St. Petersburg, Florida, a mother and daughter were driving home after the mother had picked her daughter up from work. But that night, instead of taking their usual way home, they decided to drive down a different route for the first time, a small decision that would lead them straight into the middle of something neither of them were prepared to see. As they made their way through the quiet streets near 7th Avenue South and 12th Street South, they noticed something lying in the road ahead of them. At first, they thought it may have been someone who had passed out drunk in the middle of the street. Concerned that he could be hit by another passing car, they stopped and approached, hoping to help him out of the road. But the closer they got, the more disturbing the situation became. The man wasn't responding. He wasn't trying to move. He wasn't moving at all. And within moments, the two women called 911, unknowingly becoming the first people to uncover the lifeless body of 35-year-old Tawana Gland lying alone in the middle of the road.
Yeah, the police is here.
I'm sorry, can I get your guys' info real quick? I'm sorry, can you spell it for me? I'm sorry, lock it. L-O-C-K-E-T-T. Date of birth. Address.
Immediately, multiple units in the area responded to the call-out. It was necessary to keep the scene clear and avoid drawing attention from the neighborhood, as quite often, a scene that goes out of control results in a case unsolved.
And what exactly did you see?
We were coming down this road right here. I was going to take her home. And I looked and I was like, is that a body? She was like, I'm like, yeah, that's a body. I'm like,
so y'all were driving east, saw him, turned around, and y'all were all in the car together?
Mm-hmm. My daughter, I just picked her up from there.
Okay, and where did
he just walked over. That's a girlfriend. He just walked over.
Okay, got it.
Paramedics attempted to help Tawana, yet his injuries were too severe, and it appeared he was already in the early stages of rigor mortis. Rigor mortis is the natural stiffening of the body that begins after death. It does not happen instantly, which meant Tawana had not just collapsed moments before they arrived. He had likely been lying there for some time before the mother and daughter ever came across him. And with Tawana showing no signs of life, the scene quickly shifted from a possible medical emergency to something far more serious.
Wasn't there a house with a camera we pulled from the homicide a few days ago?
I don't know if it was over here.
He don't look like he was thrown out from.
What the officer had just mentioned may have sounded like a passing comment, but it would later become one of the most twisted leads detectives had in finding Taiwan's killer. Just a few days earlier, police had pulled footage from a camera facing that exact same street for another homicide. That meant there was a chance the moments leading up to this incident had also been captured, but getting access to that footage would take time, and detectives knew they had to move quickly. So before they could rely on the cameras, they turned to the first people who had seen Taiwan that night, the mother and daughter who found him lying in the road, and what they told detectives would completely change how they viewed the scene.
He did.
This is 55-year-old Tawana Glant, and she just found out that her son had been murdered by someone far closer to home than any mother should ever have to imagine. At around 2:40 a.m. on February 26, 2024, in St. Peter.
Were you in the car here?
Yeah.
Okay, what did you see?
Me and my mom were running past. She was gonna drop me off to my boyfriend's house. And at first we thought it was a pile of clothes. We were just running past and having a normal conversation. She got closer. I looked over and she looked over. I was like, Mom, is that a body? She was like, oh my God, somebody is in the road dead. After that, she turned around and I literally got on the phone call. Like, she didn't even stop the car. I was on the phone.
You guys were coming down this way?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know how long ago that was?
This was just 10 minutes ago, not even.
You guys didn't see any
No,
cars
didn't
or
see anything.
anybody around? Okay. Hey man, I know you just walked. Were you here when this all happened?
No, I was actually trying to call her to see if she was alright, but she wasn't answering the phone or anything.
Okay.
At first, because of the shock and confusion of what they had just discovered, the witnesses failed to mention one vital piece of information, but it wouldn't take long for them to realize that something they had seen just moments before finding Taiwan may have been directly connected to his death. And once they told detectives what they remembered, the case would begin shifting away from a possible accident and towards something much more sinister. Until then, the cops had to shift their attention to the nearby houses in hopes of someone seeing something.
We had a hit around out here. Somebody got hit by a car. You see, you have a doorbell camera. Yeah, I do. I don't even think it's connected to the Wi-Fi on.
Detectives were hoping to find camera footage showing exactly what happened, but instead, they received another piece of information that helped build the picture. Although the neighbor's Ring camera had not recorded the incident, he told officers he heard arguing outside, followed by a car speeding away. This was important, as it suggested there may have been a confrontation before Taiwan was killed, but because the neighbor never looked outside, he couldn't say who was arguing, who was driving, or what actually happened. So while his statement gave detectives a lead, it still wasn't enough to prove who was responsible. As forensics arrived, they secured the body and began canvassing the area for any physical evidence left by the killer. Yet the area was spotless, bringing them right back to square one. The intensity of the call-out began to calm down, and the original witnesses were just about to leave and head home. But before they did, they suddenly remembered something crucial, something they should have told detectives much earlier. By this point, detectives had already been on scene for nearly 3 hours, and by that time, anyone connected to Taiwan's death could have been long gone. What the witnesses were about to reveal may have seemed small at first, but it would immediately raise new concerns.
So what time did you get off work?
I got that at 2:07.
Do you guys all work together, or
No.
was like one of somebody that ride, just somebody came to pick you up?
My mom was picking me up. She was ready, and my boyfriend, he lived down the street. He ran here to me.
Tell me how you guys find yourselves involved in all this tonight.
We stopped at the corner store up there earlier for a quick little thing. So we were riding down. From a distance, it literally looks like a pile of clothes that's in the street. So I'm thinking to myself, me and my mom think to ourselves, wow, like somebody just throwing piles of like clothes out. So as we get closer, my mom was like, oh my gosh, I think that's a body. So I'm looking as well, because now that she's getting closer, it does look like you can see the legs and the feet, and then his backside and everything was out. I'm like, Mom, that is a body. Like we gotta call the police. She made a U-turn right there, and she pulled up to the the speed hump right there. Put her lights on, stopped in front of him, and that's when I was on the phone with the police. And when she pulled up, I was deeper into the conversation. I got up the car because the operator was like, is there any way you can see if he's breathing, or if you do CPR or anything like that? The closer I got, his chest did not rise up not one time.
Okay.
So I knew for a fact he was going, and that's why I was telling the operator that he's going. I can't. And that's when the police sped. You guys arrived, and then I picked up the phone.
Were you in the car here?
Yeah.
Okay, what did you see?
Me and my mom were running past. She was gonna drop me off to my boyfriend's house, and at first we thought it was a pile of.
We have 2 people inside who are deceased at this time. Okay.
Just hours earlier, this man's friends had been found inside the home they shared. And the person responsible wasn't a stranger. It was someone living under the same roof.
Okay. Do you know what he's been diagnosed with?
ADHD,
Depression,
anxiety, all that.
The motive was painfully simple. A man who had struggled with his own thoughts for years finally let his bottled-up anger take control.
I've been telling him, I was like, you need to move out of there. It's like, if you're having issues and they're kicking your dog and whatever, you need to just get out and move.
On the evening of Saturday, the 30th of April, 2022, in Albuquerque, New Mexico, 21-year-old Samuel Archuleta made a sudden phone call to his parents, confessing to the fatal shooting of his 2 roommates.
Hi, so it sounds like it's your stepson?
Yeah, no, my son.
Your son. Stepson,
Yeah.
okay, got it. And he lives just right here at the corner?
Yeah, right at the corner.
And it's him and 2 roommates? Alright, yeah, for sure. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't know how many people live with him?
I think there was a couple roommates that did live with him. I'm too sure. We were stuck. We went to our friend's house and we went to the Isotopes games, and we went with them, so our car was there. We could take off to see. And I said, once we got done, we're like, better go check and make sure he wasn't. Because sometimes when he's drunk, he comes up with all kinds of nonsense. But we drove over here and we didn't see no car. And he said,
So he has his own vehicle? Yes. What kind of vehicle is it?
I think it's a red Thunderbird. I ain't too sure.
Okay. And you didn't see that when you guys? No.
No.
Did you see any vehicles parked there? There's two.
There's 2 cars there. The gate's open.
And he owns weapons? He owns guns?
Yes.
Okay. What kind? Do you know?
I think he has a Glock 40. It's a subcompact 40, 9mm Glock, and I don't know what other weapons he has. But he's not there. His car's not there.
His car's not there. He's most likely not there.
He's probably jetted or something. Or
okay. Do you know anything about his roommates' names? Okay, that's all right.
Yeah.
Do you know how long he's been living here?
He's been living there for over a year, I think, if not longer.
And how old is your son?
He's going to be 22.
22.
He's going to be 22.
And you said maybe he has some mental health? Yeah. But okay. Do you know what he's been diagnosed with?
ADHD. Depression, anxiety, all that.
Because it was unclear whether the call stemmed from alcohol or a severe mental health crisis, his worried parents immediately drove to the residence. When they found the home quiet and Samuel's vehicle missing, they contacted emergency services. Albuquerque police officers soon arrived to conduct a welfare check.
Nobody appears to be in the living room. There's one door open. Albuquerque police!
Hey, there's 2 people on the ground, Sarge. Hey, Albuquerque police! Police department, are you injured?
Albuquerque police!
2 people on the ground.
3 out of you.
Hey, Albuquerque police! Alright guys, so we need to make sure that we clear this, but check, okay?
Alright, so just slowly, methodically, let's check the door.
And the back door is open. Alrighty. I'm gonna go right, hold on that door, okay? Hold on the straightaway. You guys ready?
Right.
Okay, 2 subjects.
Alright,
okay.
right there. Worried about that right side? Right and left. So, Marissa, if you want to hold left.
Okay.
And then Andrew and I hold this open. Okay. As well as, yeah, hold left. Andrew, I want to check this right here. If you step up and hold straight. And then, Casey, will you follow me? Nice. Alright. Ready? Alright, so we got a lot of doors here. I'm going to step into the right. Hold to the left. Alright, clearing here. Let's just...
The front gate had been left wide open. Officers entered through an unlocked door and called out into the quiet house, but received no answer.
Clear.
To the right. Step back up, you guys.
Step up. Alright, I'm gonna keep holding. Can you guys clear the kitchen?
Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
So look, this is a through and through. Can you tell from there? It's hard to see to the left. It doesn't look like it, Andrew. You're gonna just fine. Yeah. Your room to my left. County's gonna hold the back door. Casey, why don't you go help Marissa and clear that room? Does that go anywhere, Andrew? I don't want people like hiding. So I was able to clear it. It's hard to see.
As they moved past the entryway, flashlight beams lit up a terrible scene in the living room. 2 still bodies lay on the floor. Officers quickly confirmed that both victims had suffered fatal, close-range gunshots to the face.
Okay, lock that back door.
Yeah, we're gonna need to secure this up.
Yeah, let's just, let me pull my car around. I'm gonna start blocking
I'll
off for now.
so I'll stay here. You guys wanna grab your units first?
So that door's locked. That's only back door.
Yeah, then you start.
And then we'll...
I don't have a unit, so I can figure it.
Okay. Door, did you start 43? Yeah, or Sergeant. When you get over there, start taping it because Mario's already out there. Hey guys, so I'm gonna come back and speak with you guys here in a minute, okay? But I really need you to think about where your son's at, okay? Anywhere that he would go, anybody that he would contact, okay?
You did it, huh?
So it does look like there are some victims at this point, okay? We're not sure what the method was or anything like that at this point, okay? But we are conducting an investigation, so if you guys could please stay here. I need to go lock down the scene, and then I'm gonna have to come back and talk to you, okay? But please start thinking about anywhere he'd go, anyone else he'd contact.
I tried calling his girlfriend, and
Please start, if you can get her information, I'll come back and grab that, like name, if you have like how old she is, where she lives, anything, her phone number, just try to get any of that stuff for me, okay? I will come right back. If you guys can just stay here, okay?
The victims were later identified as 25-year-old Jared Jackson and his 25-year-old girlfriend, Nicole Sanchez. A third roommate, returning home from a long work shift, walked straight into an active crime scene and was informed that a double murder had taken place in his own home.
Do you know a Samuel? Does he live with you?
Yes.
Okay. So, there was an incident in your house. Okay. We have 2 people inside who are deceased at this time. Okay? So I need to try to figure out who they are. And I know this is a lot to handle right now, but I really need to talk to you about what's going on, okay?
Who's in there?
That's what I don't know. So I need to see who all lives there, okay? How many people live there?
Well, it's me, Sam, my roommate Jared, and his girlfriend Nikki.
What is Jared's last name?
Jackson.
Do you know his date of birth?
No.
Do you know how old he is?
27, 26.
That's alright. Do you know where Samuel is?
No. I just got off of work. I've been there all day long.
And what's a good phone number for you?
I don't have a phone.
Is the black sedan that has like collision to it? Is that whose vehicle that is? It doesn't have a license plate on it.
It's mine. It's
okay.
It's broken down. My alternator dropped out. I'm about to get rid of it. Actually.
And what about the other vehicle? So not a red Thunderbird. That's Samuel's, correct?
Yeah. That's Jared's car.
Yeah. And so you don't have a car, right? You got a ride?
Yeah.
Okay. So Ron, I can't let you go inside your house right now. Okay. We're obviously conducting an active investigation, but it's very important that I have you stay here.
Officers secured the perimeter and interviewed family members and the surviving roommate to piece together what had led to the violence.
Do you feel like Samuel would have a reason to not like Jared and Nikki?
No, I mean, we've lived together for like a couple years now.
Has there ever been any kind of arguments about anything that you feel would have upset Samuel?
No, not to do something like that.
Do you know if Samuel owns firearms?
He did, but I don't think he has one anymore.
And they mentioned that they had gotten in a fight. Is that what over his pet?
His dog and kicking him and stuff like that, and so he's been getting pretty pissed off. He's been trying to move, but he hasn't.
So do you feel like that's the motivation, maybe, of what's been going on?
That's what I think. I think they're in
Well, isn't that what he told you that?
Yeah.
They were coming to pick you up about the dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they were messing with his dog and this and that. So he's been telling me, Dad, I need to move out. They keep kicking my dog and mistreating him, and I'm sick of those.
Is it just one dog that lives there, as far as you know?
Yeah.
What kind of dog is it?
I don't know, like a
shepherd
like
a bigger dog.
Yeah.
Okay. And then do you have your guys' IDs just so I can get your information?
I guess we were watching the game, so I didn't even see my phone until his mom had called me. So I guess he tried reaching me. So, hey, Dad, can you do me a favor, please? And I didn't see that, so I didn't respond to it.
So he had called you and verbally told you this? Okay. And he said that after that? Or
Yeah, he said,
and you haven't really heard from him?
He said, Dad, I'll see you when I see you. I'm sorry, I needed help.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you guys haven't heard from him since?
It was revealed during these interviews that domestic tensions had been building inside the home for over a year. Samuel had claimed his bedroom was being broken into, and that his roommates were mistreating his dog, and he had expressed deep frustration about the living situation to his father before the incident.
Hey Ron, when was the last time that you saw Samuel?
Last night, I guess. He left for work this morning, and I usually don't wake up until like 1 or 2.
Okay, what time would you say that you saw him?
I mean, he went to bed at like probably 11 or something like that. That's the last time I saw him.
When was the last time that you saw Jared and Ethan?
Same, when they went to bed last night.
So you left early, that you didn't see anyone this morning?
Oh, I wake up at like 1 or 2, and I leave at 3 to go to work because my car's broken down, so I have to walk. But
Is that what time you left this morning about?
yeah, no, it's after I left at 3.
At 3. Do you know Samuel's girlfriend's name?
Maya, I think.
Do you know her last name?
No.
Or phone number or address or anything like that?
No.
Did she come over a lot?
She used to, but I haven't seen her in a while.
Thank you, Ron. I'll come back, okay? I know I already asked you, but when he called you at 2147 about, can you say again what he said to you?
He just said, Dad, I'm sorry, I needed help.
Did you want me to stay doing the same as your regular
Couldn't deal with it no more. Yeah, and he said that he hits in the face. That's it.
And then he hung up.
Instead of seeking a way out, Samuel reached a breaking point. He fled the scene before his parents or law enforcement arrived.
If you'll just let me know when they go by 6, I'll get her through the
Can I ask you a question? Did you do it?
So, I mean, honestly, we don't know, right? He's not here.
No.
There are 2 deceased individuals, okay, but we don't know how yet. Okay, we haven't been able to get anyone out here to try and get it.
No, it's his mom.
Sorry, that's okay. I know you guys there's a lot going on, okay? I appreciate you guys just being here and trying to answer these questions.
Yeah, nothing on the car. I didn't even. Like I said, yeah. I mean, that's why he lives there. I mean, obviously, I've been in there once, and I thought, damn, dude, this house looks like shit. Like, I can't believe you live there. That's why mine's the only clean room, guys.
Do you know which one is his room? Is it
probably the clean one?
The clean one? Okay.
Yeah, I think for some reason I think it's in the back corner.
Is it like? I know you said you've only been in once. Is it like near the living room or down the hallway? I don't remember. Okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
Is Samuel in contact with mom?
He called her.
Yeah, he called his mom too.
We were at the Isotopes King, and she called us. She goes, "You need to call your Franken son." I go, "What?"
And it sounded like she possibly had told him the same thing. Yeah, that he told her. And that's why she called you.
She thought he was drunk because, like we said, he has dramatic. He's like real dramatic. Yeah. He's always dramatic. Always like making things bigger than what they really are. You know, he can't justify anything.
And did you guys think about anywhere that he would have went? We don't know. Okay, he was around with.
Yeah,
okay.
and
He stays away from us when he does things. He's not so close to the peace treaty.
A manhunt was launched by the Albuquerque Police Department's Investigative Support Unit. For nearly 2 weeks, Samuel successfully evaded capture, leaving the community on edge. Then, on Wednesday, the 11th of May, 2022, law enforcement in Durango, Colorado, nearly 220 miles north of the crime scene, received a significant tip. Shortly before 5 p.m., information was provided to the Durango police that Samuel was currently shopping inside a local Walmart. Because a crowded public space was involved, a tactical apprehension plan was quickly organized by the command staff to minimize danger. Officers located his vehicle in the parking lot and immediately flattened its tires to prevent a high-speed pursuit or armed standoff, then strategically covered the store's exit doors. Minutes later, Samuel walked out carrying groceries. A police commander approached him from behind and ordered him to the ground. Backup officers swarmed in, and Samuel was taken into custody without a single shot being fired. Samuel Archuleta's flight from the law ended in that Colorado parking lot. Through quick coordination between New Mexico and Colorado law enforcement, officers removed a dangerous fugitive from the streets without further injury.
And do you know Ron? I guess he's another roommate. You don't know anything about who lives there.
I've never met anybody there. I didn't even know he lived there.
I dropped him off food, and he comes out and grabs it, stuff like that, and goes in there. One time I came to bring him food again, I guess, and knocked at the door. The roommates were there, and I just had come in. It looked like a white dude with sort of thin hair and stuff like that. And I looked at him and I said, "Hey man, looks like disease in there, It's like Sam was like when COVID and all that stuff was going on." So I just said, "Here, this is for Sam," and just dropped off food. And really didn't talk to him or anything like that. I just know that it was disgusting. I've been telling him, I was like, "Dude, you need to move out of there." It's like, if you're having issues and they're kicking your dog or whatever, you need to just get out and move.
Yeah.
So, I mean, with his lifestyle, we really don't know too much of what he does,
Has he ever mentioned suicidal ideations?
When he was a teenager, he had to go to the hospital for a time.
A few times.
How did he attempt those times?
Overdosing on pills and it was a little.
Yeah, like on his ADD medicine and stuff like that. I don't know if it would have really did anything.
On the 1st of December 2023, Samuel Archuleta appeared before District Judge Stanley Whitaker and pleaded down from 2 counts of first-degree murder to 2 counts of second-degree murder. He also faced a charge of tampering with evidence, which was resolved in the plea agreement. Under New Mexico law, second-degree murder carries a basic sentence of up to 15 years per count, but his negotiated plea agreement capped his total exposure at 24 years in prison. Find a way to address your frustrations in a manner that is calm and healthy for yourself and for everyone involved. Always choose words over actions, because some actions, once taken, can never be undone.
We have.
And then on that note, love, peace, blessings, and aloha. I'm out to Doha for Shoha. You already know.